Department is here, ready to help you rebuild. Call 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Explore battery backup systems to protect your family. Don't wait. Call Solar Source at 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Solar Source, we're with you every step of the way.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. It's October, Halloween's here. It's all about the fun and scary, but for some people, your health can be scary, and that, my friends, is why you want to make sure to schedule your free heart scan at Life Imaging FLA. You know, in the United States, a heart attack occurs about every 40 seconds. That is horrifying. That's the true scary. The ghosts and goblins inside your body are the bad ones. Make sure you take advantage of this free heart scan from Life Imaging FLA and make sure you have none of that happening inside your body. There is no question that early detection saves lives, and when you consider that in 30 to 40% of heart attacks, the very first symptom that there's a problem is sudden death. So do what I did, my wife did, my in-laws did, and plenty of Central Floridians did. Get that free heart scan from Life Imaging FLA. There's just a few minimum requirements. It's a $699 value, and all you have to do is pick up your phone and dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. That's right, pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. You will be connected in seconds, guys. Make that call today. Make this the year you take care of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
People often ask why I continue to do what I do. For the past 8 years as sheriff, my passion for law enforcement in our community has driven me to make a positive impact. As a dedicated leader, I've introduced new technologies to improve public safety and built programs that strengthen our community ties. Being sheriff isn't just a job for me. It's about making a real difference and ensuring our efforts lead to lasting results by always going the extra mile. Paid by Mike Chitwood, Independent for Sheriff.
Marijuana is scientifically proven to be safer than alcohol, but casual marijuana users are treated like dangerous criminals. It's time for a change, and law enforcement officers across Florida agree. Here's Bradford County Sheriff Gordon Smith with more.
Using marijuana doesn't make you a bad person, and it's time we stop ruining lives over it. I'm a Republican sheriff, and I'm voting yes on Amendment 3 for safe, tested, regulated marijuana for adults. Amendment 3 will get marijuana laced with Chinese fentanyl off our streets and save countless Florida lives. With more funding for law enforcement to crack down on the real criminal, it's time. Vote yes on Amendment 3.
Amendment 3, legal marijuana for adults, safe, regulated, lab tested, and from a store, not the street. Get the facts at yeson3.com.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3321, Tallahassee, Florida 32312.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Tuesday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day. And we do have a banger for you this afternoon. We'll get you caught up on what's happening out there. Deb will do that. We'll woke news around 3:20. For 3:40, it's the Froggers football follow-up. Today, we will give away a $25 gift card to Froggers Grill and Bar. If you can pick the person on the show that had the most right choices this weekend for the NFL schedule. 4 o'clock, What'd You Do That's New? We'll go over something from my hometown, the legendary 100-year-old Ravine Garden. Or almost there. 5 o'clock hour, It's Only Money with our buddy Scott Brown. We'll do trivia then as well. Whitney Cummings tickets and Orlando Pride playoff tickets there to grab. And, of course, in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll end it up with, you heard it here first, your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long, plus 4 opportunities to win $1,000. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight out, producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. Bills is your 3 o'clock keyword, BILLS. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Had a winner yesterday.
You want to be like Mark from Davenport.
That's right. Davenport taking home that cash.
That's right, that $1,000.
Go get it, guys. Bills. Remember, if you're playing the game, keep your phone on and answer it when it rings, even if you don't recognize that number, because, my friends, that is how they tell you you've won. And you got to pick that up, because they don't call you back.
No,
and
they don't.
And they do not leave a message. The message is, so sorry.
Right, exactly.
You do not win. So sorry. Yeah, man. Everybody having a good Tuesday? All right. Tuesday is that day, though, right?
It is. It's Monday's ugly sister. But you really can't complain. The weather is gorgeous.
Yeah,
we're 1 week away from the hell that is all the election day, all the political ads on TV.
Oh, my God. You know, I got to tell you, I haven't seen many political ads on television.
Oh, my God.
Okay, where have you been? Okay, hold on. Let me finish. I don't watch a lot of network television.
Apparently.
I don't watch a lot of TV because, I just don't. So,
They're back to back.
Are they really?
Oh,
yeah, I've not seen many of them. Online, I see a couple of them. And, of course, pop-ups and stuff you see. What are the most memorable ones?
I'm pro-choice, but I'm a mom, too.
Yeah.
Who are they mostly supporting, though? Is it 50-50, or do you see more Kamala Harris or more Donald Trump?
It's not even really that.
No, it's more local.
It's amendments.
Is it really? Yeah,
it's the amendments.
Amendment 3 and 4, Rick Scott, Debbie McCarcel-Powell.
Yep.
It's a tight race, right? I mean, I think he's only a little bit ahead of her.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new one where she has him looking like a snake?
Oh, that's nice. I saw that one for sure.
Yeah. We all knew he was Voldemort.
When you told me that, I went and looked at it just to see how well it was done or not done. Not too bad.
Not bad for a local spot.
Yeah, exactly. How about the text messages? Because I'm NPA, so I'm getting it from all sides. I'm getting it from the Democrats, from the Republicans, from everybody.
Here, my mantra has become this: delete and report junk. Delete and report junk. Delete and report junk.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. They have a myriad phone numbers, and you can delete them for the next 60 years, and you're never going to get away from it. They're going to get you.
Yep.
That should be against the law, by the way. They should not be able to just text you openly on your phone and your you should not be able to do that. You have access to people everywhere, through digital, through social, through television, through radio, through print. You should not be able to invade my privacy and then send me a text when I don't care for it. And I don't care about texting. They're like, well, you can stop it. I'm like, it should never start. How about that? Give me that option. Give me the text start to never have one come.
Well, I know that nobody saw my response. Well, a few people on Twitter did.
Yeah.
But right after Milton had blown through the area and you're sitting in your house going, well, Can't play any games on my phone.
Right, exactly.
Can't read a book. You get one of those text messages, and it said, we've asked you at least 9 times.
Oh, they're bitching at you.
All caps, who you're voting for. And I texted back, we just went through a hurricane, F off.
Yeah, no, they don't get that.
And then I posted it on social media and said, I'm not sure if this is how you're supposed to deal with political ads during a natural disaster, but it sure felt good.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they do.
It still felt good.
I text the stop, and that's it.
So I woke up when we go on the Bucks bus Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
So I woke up Monday morning. I looked at my text messages, and I saw a message that I sent that said, I don't know if I can say this on air.
Okay.
Do it anyway.
It says, blank by blank. Let's just leave it at that.
Mow my lawn.
Yeah.
Gel my hair.
And I'm like,
carry my groceries.
That's an odd thing for me to text, and I opened it up, and it was a campaign asking me for money. That I on the Bucks bus on Sunday. Apparently, that's how I decided to respond.
Wow, we know
nice.
how many bourbons in do you think
Enough
he was
for Jack
before?
to type something like that and have it be on the record, which is rare.
Yeah.
Jack and I know never put anything on the record.
Take that,
Say it
Donald J.
personally.
Trump.
That's so funny. I get them. I just delete them. I don't bother with it at all. I don't. But I have to tell you, I went through a spate of these things about a week and a half ago. And it made me laugh so much. And it was just this. Hi, it's Ted Cruz. Can I get $1? I'm not kidding. It's the weirdest money they ask for. Hey, it's Donald Trump asking you for $9. or Kamala Harris's freedom worth $9.50? Or whatever the case may be. It would be whomever's asking. It's so funny how they ask for this dollar. Do you think your freedom is worth $1.75? And then donate here,
But you're right. It's the ones that bitch at me that really make me angry.
I never saw that approach.
Oh,
yeah, I've not seen that. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah,
I guess they reserve that for the NPAs.
All caps, like, who are you voting for?
Tell us now.
It's like, nope.
All right.
And the nastier you are, the less I'm going to tell you.
All right, 407-916-1041. That's how you call us. Text us easily at 77031. Don't forget about our talkbacks, guys. We use that system quite a bit to do a bunch of stuff. So just kind of do this so that way you understand. Get that iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it and use that microphone to send your comments over to Jack. Regardless of what we're talking about throughout the day, you're always able to send a comment so you can get your opinion known about what we bring up to talk about today. And, one of the first things I want to talk about, we have a bunch of stuff to go over today. But I just saw a story today. So in your lifetime, guys, and I know that we're a tiny bit ahead, right? Tiny bit.
Careful.
When you guys remember the cool after-work hangout places.
Oh, yeah. It used to be the wing joints.
Yeah, what were they? And, let me ask you now. I kind of know that from us because that's the story here about one of those not doing so well. And matter of fact, they're shuttering stores. And I remember this place back in my heyday, back in my 30s and stuff, as like when you knocked off work, you drove straight to this place, happy hour, enjoy it. It was like a party scene. But what is that now? Like, I'll tell you what the restaurant is. Can you guess it?
No. Hooters?
No, not Hooters.
TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays.
Really?
Yeah, so Fridays used to be that place where it would be there 2 for $1. You would get off work, you would drive straight there, you get your fruity drink, right? You'd order some appetizers, and you would kick it hard AF on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday?
Like on a Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it was, but TGI Fridays was one of those places. Do they have that anymore?
Well, think about it. The workplace isn't the same anymore. I was just talking to one of the salespeople here saying, remember when you used to be able to go out and have lunch together?
Right, yeah.
Now it's like they're under the gun, just so much expected that time is really like, let me just get home.
And you're not, I guess you could do that via text, but I mean, there's a group of girls here that sell for us that I know they're pretty tight, and they do a lot of lunches together, but they're the only ones I know that do that. But if you ask me right now, if I had to pick a choice, if they said, hey, meet us at the hot spot tonight, like back in the day, it would be like Chili's, it would be Fridays, it would be, what's the other one?
Ale House.
Ale House, places like that. So I think maybe Ale House may be that spot right now. But
yeah.
Is that what you think, Jack? Is like when it comes to those restaurants or spots you go, because when I wrote my notes down, I was like, I think it's the breweries now.
Yeah, I would say.
Isn't it the breweries who have kind of taken that space over, that place you meet afterwards where they have like snacks and beers?
I would say it seems to be. I would also follow up with that. I was never part of that. And
oh, you weren't? You never were the part of the going after work and hanging out?
No, because either for the past 26 years, I've worked till 7, and then it would be going home to the family.
Right.
Because I'm not a douche.
Yeah. You can be a douche once a week. My God, man. Come on, guy. Lighten up, dude. What are you doing?
But
have a life.
But prior to this job, my last job was a bartender.
Oh yeah.
That was my social. I wasn't going to other bars.
They were coming to you.
Yeah.
I tried to think about that today, and I was like, I wonder what has replaced those restaurants like that. Chili's would be, I guess, another one, because they do like 2-for-1 drinks. Any place that does like 2-for-1 between like 5 and 8.
Hell.
That's what they're going, right? You go there, take your sales team over, pound a couple drinks, head home, home by like 7:30,
Back in my theme park days, it was Jungle Gyms.
Jungle Gyms was a great spot
Jungle
like
Gyms
that.
was the spot you hung out at.
But I think now, as I was thinking about it, I was like, my kids, when they want to go and like kind of chill out or decompress, it's a brewery it's almost to the T. The only problem, of course, a lot of breweries will offer mixed drinks.
Right.
They'll only offer their beers or whatever. That would be the only drawback. But this younger generation of girls love drinking beer. It's not like it used to be where they would only drink like, fruity drinks or fruity alcohol vodka drinks. Now, like, girls drink big time IPAs and heavy stouts and stuff like that. It's no problem for them. And I think that's what that's kind of become. That's kind of the new hangout spot after work.
I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, not the brewery. I love breweries. That one out by us is awesome. That Eden Abbey place.
Oh, their food is the bomb as
go
well.
There,
Yeah,
get food and hang out, watch some live music.
Oh yeah,
seats.
Great brewery
in the little brew house area there. It only seats like maybe 25, 30 people. But man, when you pile up in that joint, it feels very comfortable and hanging and just chilling. And they're everywhere. Sanford, I think the entire city is a brewery.
Right, exactly.
Matter of fact, I think Sanford is a walk-in brewery. The entire city. It's a brewery that has mailboxes. But I think that's kind of at space now. But if you have an idea for that, I'd love to hear from you. The texting service is open. You could also leave us a talkback regarding that.
People are saying Bennigan's. Don't forget Bennigan's.
Yeah, that was another one back in the day.
And now apparently Crooked Can for Disney cast members is the place where they're hanging out now.
Yeah, because a lot of those guys moved out to Claremont when in that area when it became so unmanageable.
Right.
Property wise and everything. A lot of the Disney employees moved out to Claremont, Groveland, Davenport,
Mineola.
That's right. They could get to the park easier. And now those places, because this influx of people, Disney employees, have become these booming areas of town. Claremont was a dust bucket 20 years ago, a dust bucket. Nobody would move there. Nobody would live there. And now they're charging like an ass load for houses. Oh, God. An ass load. I should have bought a bunch. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Man, I have a really, really cool docket of stuff to talk about today.
All right.
Subway is in the news today. Automatic refunds are in the news today. Mentally ill persons are in the news today. It's voting season, and an interesting question has arisen about the mentally ill, and it comes to their votes if they're adults. And the reason this kind of popped up is, there's some online fervor about Tim Walz helping his son, Gus, vote. And that's an interesting topic I've not heard anyone talk about.
Yeah.
Like, if you're an adult and you're mentally ill, do you get a vote? And if so, how do you cast that vote? That's an interesting question I've not heard spoken about, but the story's kind of interesting. We'll get to that.
Mentally ill or like neurodivergent?
Can I tell you something, Deb? Everything from, when I say mentally ill, I probably shouldn't use that term, probably showing my age there, but, anyone that seemingly could not make a decision like that on their own, or maybe make that motion, like maybe your nephews.
Right.
Autistic, maybe aware, but not capable. You know what I'm saying? People of that nature. I mean, how do they vote and it not seem like somebody's voting for them, which is what, of course, he's being accused of. But we'll get into that a little bit later as well. What do you got for news?
Well, we're going to talk about the Seminole tribe settling to end the online gambling legal battle. In the meantime, Florida is being sued over a social media law and where it's against the law to shoot silly string. The most un-American thing I've ever heard in my life, but we're going to tell you about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
Not near a birthday cake. I know that. That is like, have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, my God. That stuff is flammable. And there's a lady who sprayed it over a birthday cake, and the entire room went up.
Okay.
All right.
I guess now I understand.
All right. 407-916-1041. Don't forget, your 3 o'clock keyword is bills, BILLS. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Back in a sec with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
It's literally a short walk. What the hell is wrong with you? Stop being so damn weird. Please.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Drivers in the Orlando area can expect some delays on I-4 for those traveling by Celebration and near the Beach Line exit this afternoon. Other than that, things are up to speed on your major roadways and interstates today. No major delays to report for those traveling on the Beach Line or the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477.
This report is sponsored by Batteries Plus. Lose your key? Don't get stuck without a spare. At Batteries Plus, you can get a key fob for up to 50% less than what a dealership would charge. Keys cut, key fobs programmed, and batteries replaced on the spot. Avoid a car key catastrophe. Get a spare key today at Batteries Plus.
The calendar may say October, but it's still pretty hot outside. And you know what that means, right? Another month, another high utility bill. And those old windows and doors could be the culprit, letting valuable energy escape, not to mention your money, too. So upgrade them with Renewal by Andersen. At Renewal by Andersen, their energy-efficient windows and doors have the latest advanced technology, keeping your home comfortable year-round, helping reduce your energy costs and make your home more eco-friendly, too. Jonathan did just that himself, and this is what he had to say about his experience. Great, very professional, and the windows are the best you can get. Living in Florida, it's nice to have peace of mind knowing you have quality windows to protect against hurricanes and the heat. For the month of October, Renewal by Andersen is offering buy 4 windows and or patio doors. Get the 5th free, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Divorce? Call Trinley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
What sets International Diamond Center apart from those big box jewelry chain stores?
The problem with big chain stores is that they're all run by corporate.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
That means the people at the store level just plain don't care much.
At IDC, you're not dealing with a bunch of retail clerks. You're working with a true jewelry professional who's not on commission and not beholden to a bunch of corporate dictated rules and policies.
When you're in the big corporate world, everybody operates out of a manual or a big book of rules. At IDC, we don't have a manual telling our people how to deal with customers. We empower our people to take care of those customers in the way they would want to be taken care of.
Get the respect, guidance, professionalism, and genuine care you deserve from people who put you first.
We tell them point blank, do whatever it takes to make the customer happy, period.
International Diamond Center, locally owned, internationally connected.
We want them to take care of you, protect you, and make it the best experience that you could possibly have.
International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando locations and always at shopidc.com.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Mark
Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando. You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Car accidents can be scary, but dealing with the insurance company can be even scarier. This Halloween, don't get tricked. Just call Mo. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Orlando's attorneys.
I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. We're going to highlight players, and we're just going to sit here and talk about them. And we'll get into the types of dudes. Is Randy Moss a stud or a freak? Is Tom Brady a dog or a dude's dude?
We're going to find out, Jules. New episodes drop every Thursday during the NFL season.
Listen to Dudes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dudes on Dudes to start listening.
Trust the leaders at FAS Windows and Doors. Go to FASWD.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
The news junkie was talking earlier about all of these spam text messages that you get from all these candidates. And he made mention of a toggle, which would be cool if you could opt in or opt out of receiving these messages. I would go so far as to pay a yearly rate to never get another text message like that again.
Amen.
But I don't know if that's ethical or not because of how annoying they are and all the other issues.
All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Don't forget your 3 o'clock keyword is bills, BILLS. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. What you just heard is a talkback. We love those guys. If you'd like to get involved, just download the iHeartRadio app, go to Real Radio once you get it, and use that microphone to send your comment over to Jack. We'll get you on the air in no time. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack is right over there. Let's get some news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
And Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. All right, starting things off with a sad note out of Hollywood, where comedic actress Terry Garr has died at the age of 79. The star of films including Young Frankenstein and Tootsie, for which she received an Oscar nomination, died today in Los Angeles after a lengthy battle with multiple sclerosis. She was in dozens of movies and TV shows throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah, her Young Frankenstein performance was absolutely paramount to that movie being good.
Yeah.
You had to have a foil for all the absurdity, and she was perfect for it. It was so good.
As well as Tootsie.
Yeah,
I really love that movie.
And a beautiful woman in her day.
She really,
yeah.
She thinks she did a lot on like Letterman and stuff at night, but she was on so often. She thinks that actually hurt her career.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Didn't know that.
At that time, being on television so much, being that exposed, she thinks it and. Just the goofiness that, Letterman, doing Letterman would be, she thinks that hurt her career.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hearing Michael McDonald every time you turned on the radio in the 80s.
Right, exactly.
Right? All right, on to the other big story of the day. The Florida Division of Elections is reporting that more than 2.9 million voters have cast ballots during the early voting period that runs through at least Saturday. Of that number, 52% have been from Republicans, 27% have been from Democrats, and 20% by other parties and independents. Volusia County Election Supervisor Lisa Lewis tells Fox 35 early voting is a win-win for voters and for those who run the elections.
It is nice to have them come out and vote early, whether you vote by mail or in person, whatever your choice is. It's wonderful to see the excitement about voting. And I feel we'll have a great turnout, the highest we've had ever here in Volusia County.
Overall, 5.1 million Floridians have voted so far. Leading up to next Tuesday's election, 37% of registered voters in Florida still have cast ballots early or voted by mail.
That's incredible, really, when you think about it.
And the rates in Volusia County, I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's like 39%. It's
through the roof. Yeah.
Through the roof.
Yeah.
Really, really, really high numbers. All right. A Miami-Dade County elections worker is out of a job after a bin and bag of ballots fell out of a truck.
Oh, man. Yeah, can't do that. God almighty.
Says the man who had a rug roll out of his.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, the rug isn't going to get my house firebombed, though.
The supervisor of elections, it did make me think of your truck, though,
Thank you,
Jimmy.
I appreciate that.
The supervisor of elections says the ballots had already been tabulated at the early voting site before transport. It appears the worker didn't lock the back of the truck.
No tailgate, huh?
No tailgate, right? How are you going to lock it with no tailgate?
Who would do something so stupid?
And the sealed bin and bag fell out. A driver picked up the ballots and took them to the police station. The elections worker has been fired.
Now, were these ballots like zebra? Did they have a zebra pattern? Because I lost a rug. I lost a rug.
All right, the legal fight over online sports gambling in Florida is over. The Seminole Tribe has settled with, and a group of businesses that operate racetracks and poker rooms. The tribe agreed to a new partnership with West Flagler Associates and the Bonita Fort Myers Corp to offer high-lie wagering on the tribe's Hard Rock Bet app. This after the U.S. Supreme Court refused to take up a challenge to an agreement that gave the Seminole Tribe exclusive rights to handle online sports betting here in Florida.
Wow.
So in other words, all right, we'll let you come to the party and get a little bit of the success off this app.
How about this? In other words, your argument has enough validity for us to not want to deal with it in 5 years or 2 years or in 3 months. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
They don't want that thing getting any more steam. Like,
Nope.
let's just nip this right now and move on.
Exactly. Well, in the meantime, Florida is being sued over its attempt to reduce the time kids spend on social media. The Computer and Communications Industry Association and NetChoice sued the state yesterday over House Bill 3. That's set to take effect on January 1st. It prevents kids under 14 from opening their own social media accounts. Kids 14 and 15 can do so with their parents' consent. The CCIA, though, says that law violates the First Amendment. The plaintiffs also say they prefer the state let parents decide which speech and websites their minor children may access online. So have mom and dad do it. Don't let the state.
It's the eye roll that sold me.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know the audience can't see that unless they're watching. That's one of the many reasons you should watch, by the way.
Yes, that's why you should watch.
We talk with our faces as well.
A lot of times. All right, a new task force is working to combat hate crimes here in Central Florida. The state attorney's office representing Orange and Osceola counties say the group was formed thanks to a $1 million grant from the U.S. Department of Justice. Officials are going to focus on public awareness, enhancing investigations, and increasing hate crime prosecutions. The task force is also designed to address the issue of underreporting in the Sunshine State. A 2022 report shows 58 out of Florida's 254 law enforcement agencies recorded hate crimes, highlighting a gap in important data collection and victim support. So,
wow.
Yeah. That's not a lot that are recording.
It does.
All right. More than 55,000 insurance claims have been denied in Florida since Hurricanes Helene and Milton devastated parts of the state. The Florida Office of Insurance Regulation reports the reasons claims are closed without payment include non-covered flood damage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one hurts to say. And damage not meeting the deductible amount.
Yeah.
FEMA assistance may be available for residents whose claims were turned away. Now, as of Monday, estimated insured losses from the back-to-back hurricanes have now surpassed.
Well, you're going to say it, $5 billion.
No.
Oh, is he going to show you?
Yeah. I'll take the under at 4.9 billion.
4.3.
Oh, this son of a bitch.
$1 billion.
God, I hate him. Is he still over there? Yeah. I can't see because of the glare. Is he still there?
I love your relationship. How long have you guys been married?
Move on.
A Polk County community.
This bitch.
Oh, wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
What?
That.
Oh.
Right in the nuts. Right in the nuts.
Dinging the dingleberries. A Polk County community is continuing to deal with flooding nearly 3 weeks after Hurricane Milton. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers were surveying Lake Bonny, that's in Lakeland, yesterday morning, and the agency tells the Ledger it could take up to 30 days to lower the water level in order to alleviate localized flooding. 3 weeks, what's another 30 days?
Yeah, I mean, we're here.
There are at least 3 pumps working around the clock to try to resolve the issue. The Army Corps says it's brought in a full-time staff member to monitor nearby communities, but they still have another 30 days to wait to see the water finally recede.
Good Lord, man.
All right, Florida Power and Light is trying to place a temporary surcharge onto customers after those 4 hurricanes hit the state in just over a year.
Read the room, guys. Read the room, guys.
The utility company hopes state regulators will approve a 1-year increase of about $12 per month. The charge would go into effect in January in order to help cover recent storm restoration efforts. The funding would also help replenish FPL's reserve. The official request was submitted just last week.
Yeah, I bet it'll pass.
And if you don't like it, you just can go to their competitor.
Yeah. I bet it'll pass.
What's that competitor, Jack?
There is no competitor.
Right,
God
right.
Almighty.
We're doomed.
And that's why, see, and this is, but you're right, it'll get approved.
Yeah, it's going to get approved. But it really, can I tell you, this is a formality.
It really
coming.
is.
Yeah, it's a formality. It's coming.
Because, I mean, someone was texting earlier about how long we've been paying fees from Charlie, for Ivan, for
sure.
all of these other storms.
You get used to the fee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just get used to the fee.
Just grab your ankles.
It must be so nice to have a business that can replace their coffers in cases of emergencies with taxpayer money.
You know?
That's always a hoot, right? That's always good. That's fair to everybody, I think.
And fill up their reserves. Not only cover their restoration costs, but then help fill up their reserves.
Hey, guys,
so that next year you can come back and say you've got to...
Look, that happens everywhere. When my water heater goes bad, I just go to the state and say, hey, look, guys, I didn't save enough. I know that you told me to. I didn't stick $3 a month away, so I'm going to need a couple $100 for this water heater. Oh, they can't wait to write me a check.
All right, today is Try Transit Tuesday. You can ride a Lynx bus or Sunrail train for free all day. On board a train this morning, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer told Fox 35, when it comes to Sunrail, you ain't seen nothing yet.
We've completed the first 2 phases of Sunrail, which it now runs from DeLand all the way to Point Siena, 17 stops. But our goal is to go to the airport and go to 7 days a week. Right now, this was built as a commuter train, so 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. But when we go to the airport, we'll have to have more frequent service, and we'll have to have 7 days a week service.
Which is great news for those who've said, Sunrail is a great concept, but with it only running 5 days a week, it's just not that convenient.
Right, yeah.
So Mayor Dyer says using mass transit is a good thing for multiple reasons, reduces our carbon footprint, reduces traffic congestion, and it's easy, not to mention you can also get some work done or actually take a snooze while you're on the train. Not a bad thing after all.
Nope.
I'd totally take that to the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go, buddy.
In about a second, I would.
Yeah, and let me tell you,
look, my kid's flying out this weekend to go somewhere. You would love to hop on a train and go down there and not pay $35 or $50 a day for parking or whatever it is.
And when we got back from the Taylor Swift concert, it was 4:30 in the morning, but the Brightline train station was full of flyers getting ready to go catch their flight in Miami.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, if you can take mass transit and not have to worry about the parking, the tolls, and the traffic, why do any other way?
Right.
All right, there's optimism about a plan to transform a golf course in Seminole County. Rolling Hills Golf Club in Longwood will be turned into a 100-acre community park.
Have you seen the things for it?
No.
Oh, my God, it looks amazing. This is something they've been waiting for years now because the city purchased this piece of property a few years back.
Yeah, well, the project is finally now out to bid, and that means the county commission hopes work can begin next year. You're right. Rolling Hills opened in what year did Rolling Hills open?
It's one of the oldest in Seminole County, right up there with Mayfair. I want to say it opened in I'll go 52.
Jack? Are you going to show him again?
No, I wouldn't do that. 53.
Points Jimmy, 1926.
Oh, wow, really? Damn, it's almost as old as Mayfair's 22, dude.
Yeah, 1926, and it closed in 2014.
Yeah.
Now, at least one resident who lives along the course is sad to lose what he calls a great layout, but he is glad the course won't be turned into a housing development.
Right.
Instead, it's going to be home to a playground, a meditation garden, and a trail.
Yeah, it's very cool what they did. You know, a guy who owns Del Air Air Conditioning, Bob Della Russa, God rest his soul, he bought that in a number of other golf courses. And, you know, there was like, you know, kind of an idea they were going to create some kind of group that could provide, you know, a cheaper round of golf, but it didn't work out that way. And 3 of the other courses he bought also wound up going under. And I think the county, Seminole County, bought that one and bought Deer Run with the same idea to turn them into community spaces rather than have them inundated with like apartment complexes or condos or other development.
Well, County Commissioner Lee Constantine tells News 6 this is going to be something very special.
Yeah.
All right. Did you take part in the infinite money glitch? Let's hope you didn't, because JP Morgan Chase is suing customers who allegedly stole money from ATMs through a method that went viral on social media, nicknamed the infinite money glitch and more accurately called fraud.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, do you guys remember?
I bet that's not what they say in court.
No, but do you remember when this thing hit? Do you remember when this thing hit?
No, how do you do it?
If people would deposit bad checks and then withdraw the money before the check could be rejected. Now, the bank on Monday started suing some of the people who allegedly stole the most, including a Texas man who took nearly...
Oh, gosh. Jack, you're first on this one, dog.
I will say $120,000.
God, I don't think it's that much.
Then go under.
You're going to listen? Oh, you're going to listen to him?
Go under. Go under.
How much did you say?
120. 120, Jimmy.
$120,001.
$300,000.
So good at this game. You are not, because Deb, as the anything but impartial host of this game,
she hates seeing you win. She hates, like everybody else, they hate seeing you win.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
No. $300,000.
That's a whole bunch.
That's a whole bunch. Other cases were filed here in Florida and California. Wow. The bank wants their money back, along with interest and other fees. Now, get this. These suits are separate from potential criminal charges that could still be filed. So just because you haven't gotten the knock on the door from the popo yet doesn't mean that you're off scot-free.
And for the record, even if they get the money back, you can still go to jail. It's not like you can rob a bank and go, my bad, I'm giving it all back. You still robbed the bank, dude.
And you can't say, well, it was viral.
Yeah, right, yeah.
All right, Halloween is Thursday, but you really should be getting your plan ready with your kids. That's an acronym, PLAN. State Senator Lauren Book explains what PLAN really stands for.
That's permission, location, the activity, and the names and numbers of who and where you're going, and the names and numbers of the people that you're going to be with.
And while adults should be with younger kids, older ones who want to trick or treat alone should go in groups. Book also recommends putting air tags on your kid's costume or their candy bags. That way you can keep an eye on them in real time where they are at all times.
And by the way, also, when a teen snatches it, you know where to beat them senseless with a bat.
Yeah, let's go get them.
Right.
Let's roll.
All right. And then finally, just in time for Halloween, officials in Hollywood are reminding the public about a silly law that carries stiff penalties for violators. Signs are posted up and down Hollywood Boulevard, the Sunset Strip, and other parts of the area that say silly string is prohibited all day on October 31st and November 1st. I did not know this, just like I did not know how flammable it was, but the product can cause thousands of dollars in property damage to businesses, cars, and the famous Hollywood Walk of Fame stars.
Yeah, it's the dye, by the way, is what happens. The dye that's in that string, if it sits on something, will leach into paint and other things as well, I believe.
Wow. Well, anyone caught using silly string during those prime Halloween hours faces a not-so-silly penalty of up to 6 months in jail.
Get out of here. For silly string?
And a $1,000 fine.
My God, pack our stuff, honey. We're leaving. Like everybody else in California. Get the hell out of here. My God almighty.
But they're all coming here, so shut up.
You want the right to litter with silly string? Is that it?
It's not that I want the right, Jack, but come on, man.
You're destroying property.
Come on, Jack.
Hello.
Good God almighty.
Regardless.
Someone's got to pay for it.
Now you all are officially woke.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text
I love your relationship.
77031. Bills, by the way, guys, BILLS. That is your 3 o'clock keyword. There's still time. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your shot at $1,000 back back. With the Froggers football forecast, I need 3 callers that would like to win a $25 gift card to Froggers Grill and Bar. We'll do that next here on the Jim Colbert Show.
The Froggers football follow-up is next. Call now for your chance to win. 407-916-1041.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast on this Tuesday. And we'll be expecting temperatures to be right around our normal highs with a high of 84 degrees today in Orlando. We'll expect a breezy day, but also a couple of isolated showers that could potentially try to work their way further inland from the beaches, but only a 20% chance of rain is expected. Similar forecast for our Wednesday, and then by Halloween, we'll still hold on to about a 20% chance of rain, a high of 83. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Norton 360.
Outsmart cyber criminals this October with Norton 360. For Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Norton 360 offers a software updater feature to reduce vulnerabilities. Get comprehensive protection and up to 58% off your first year at norton.com/secure.
Hey guys, not a big secret that the real estate market is changing and booming right now more than ever. And with your home being your most valuable asset, you need a real estate company that's always one step ahead of the market, whether you're buying or selling. That's the Nickley Group. That's what they do. They actually sell homes on average for about 6% more than their competitors. And even better, they sell them twice as fast as well. Clients on average save about $24,000 when they purchase a home with the Nickley Group. And now with interest rates lower than they've been in a while, your buying power is way more than it was just a year ago. Thousands, actually. And with September setting the record for the highest average sales price in Central Florida, you know the money is still out there. Homes in this area is still selling for record prices. And their website is an awesome tool that you can use every day. As a matter of fact, you can actually get a guaranteed cash offer for your house. No showings, no open houses. You can close that deal in just 14 days. Move on. Get your home valued instantly using current market data to find out how much you're working with, or list your house on the market. All of that. You can even download their free buyer's guide. This thing is absolutely stacked with useful information about the home buying and selling process. It's the NickleyGroup.com. That's NICKLEY Group.com.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
For over 40 years, Solar Source has stood by Orlando and Tampa. We've weathered storms together. Our emergency service department is here, ready to help you rebuild. Call 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Explore battery backup systems to protect your family. Don't wait. Call Solar Source at 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Solar Source, we're with you every step of the way.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. Did you know that in the United States, a heart attack occurs every 40 seconds? My goal is to spread the word about prevention and early detection and help save lives with Life Imaging FLA. I tell everybody about it. They do the scan for your heart and also for cancer screening. And my sister, she's battling stage 4 cancer right now, and she tells everybody, get a scan when you can with Life Imaging FLA. Early detection is a game changer when it comes to early detection of heart disease and cancer, so give them a call and get your free heart scan. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan, you'll be connected in seconds. There's a few minimum requirements, but this is a $699 value that's definitely worth it. It's Life Imaging FLA. When you talk to them, ask them about cancer screening. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia. It's Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan, and talk to Life Imaging FLA.
Marijuana is scientifically proven to be safer than alcohol, but casual marijuana users are treated like dangerous criminals. It's time for a change, and law enforcement officers across Florida agree. Here's Bradford County Sheriff Gordon Smith with more.
Using marijuana doesn't make you a bad person, and it's time we stop ruining lives over it. I'm a Republican sheriff, and I'm voting yes on Amendment 3 for safe, tested, regulated marijuana for adults. Amendment 3 will get marijuana laced with Chinese fentanyl off our streets and save countless Florida lives. With more funding for law enforcement to crack down on the real criminal, it's time. Vote yes on Amendment 3.
Amendment 3, legal marijuana for adults, safe, regulated. lab tested, and from a store, not the street. Get the facts at yeson3.com.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Save Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3321, Tallahassee, Florida 32312.
Your Halloween soundtrack starts with Halloween Radio on the free iHeart app.
With your hands on your hips.
Plus custom playlists from every genre and the spookiest podcasts on the planet. Open the free iHeart Radio app, search Halloween, and listen now.
iHeart Radio.
Free never sounded so good.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
It's time for the Froggers football follow-up on the Jim Colbert Show.
That's right, time for the Froggers football follow-up. We do have 3 people on the phone ready to go, vying for that $25 gift card to Froggers Grill and Bar. And we thank those guys so much for allowing us to, to help us do this gig every single year. 4 of these beautiful locations to serve you all throughout Central Florida. Find yours at froggers.com.
Simple as that, Jimmy.
And Jack, I do not know the answer to this week. I have not looked to see who prevailed. I really do not know.
Good thing I do know the answer because we all made our selections, and 2 of the 3 of us tied going into last night.
Really?
And then it came down to points.
Really?
And one person distinctly was in third place. Between the 3 of us.
Okay, very good.
I will leave it at that. I will give you a little heads up on the results so far for the season. It's neck and neck. It is, let's see, Deb was the winner last week. Woohoo! And prior to that, Jim, you rolled off of a couple wins.
Yeah.
However, the overall total for the season, we're within 2 games for the 3 of us.
Really? Yeah. A nice tight race. That's very good. All right, well, let's get our first caller. Jack, who do you think it should be?
Well, that will be for Deb to choose.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Pick 1, 2, or 3, Deb.
Mike, Robert, or Jeff?
Mike, Robert, or Jeff? Let's go with Robert.
Robert right there in the middle. Robert, how you doing?
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome, buddy. All right. Well, tell us, who do you think, between myself, Deb, and Jack, picked the most winning games this weekend in the NFL football schedule?
Since Deb picked me, I'm going to go with Deb.
You're going to go with Deb.
Well, Deb, yeah. I did mention Deb just won last week, Robert. You are aware of that, right?
I know. I was going to pick you, but Deb picked me, so I have to go vice versa.
Wow.
I like the way you roll, Robert.
We may change how we play this game. With 11 correct. 2 people had 11 correct, and then Jimmy was in last place with 9. So it wasn't Jim.
Okay, well, Jack, you're ruining the game.
Deb and I tied going into the last night, and Deb was closer on points with her Steelers or her fiance's Steelers winning. So Deb is the winner this week.
Damn,
and Robert, that means you are the winner of the $25 Froggers gift card, but we need you to do one thing for us and make it sound like a frog.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
All right, good job, buddy.
Thanks, Froggers. We appreciate that. A $25 gift card. Use that this weekend as the football season continues to roll forward. More World Series games. Magic are killing it. They won again last night.
Yeah, if it's happening in sports, it's happening at a Froggers near you. As Jimmy said, you have Mount Dora, Oviedo, Apopka, Altamont Springs, and you find the details at froggers.com. For the season, Jimmy with 74 correct. Deb and I are tied with 72.
Damn, dude.
I was one off
You're on
last
one,
night.
player. You are on one.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah. As she unloosens her belt.
That was my bro.
Go back to my bad. What was the points pick? What did you guys pick?
I picked 43.
43. I had 36 or 37, and it came to 47.
Oh, my goodness.
So Deb was closer. Yeah.
Yeah, what a game, too. I mean, very interesting. Giants are terrible, and the Steelers are starting to kind of find a little win with Wilson. Yeah, with Russell Wilson, man. It's been kind of fun to watch. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate that again.
Yay.
4 of these Frogger locations. Go eat them up. We love it. We'll talk to those guys again on Thursday.
Feeling good.
When we do the Froggers football forecast, we actually make at least some of our picks. We'll move on to the weekend. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Don't forget, you get about 5 minutes left for your 3 o'clock keyword. It's Bills, BILLS. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Bills, guys, that'll do it. By the way, got a lot of response earlier when we were mentioning the people, where you go after work.
Right.
And it's kind of cool, though. People are bringing up everything from Bennigan's to the old ABC lounges, like the things we used to go to. Like they were called JD Penguins, right?
Oh, wow.
I think the JD Penguins were the bars that were in the ABC because, believe it or not, it's so crazy. Like if you think about like people now, like going to Total Wine or ABC or any of the big liquor stores where you go for your alcoholic beverages, your spirits. Imagine back in the day that when you walk into your Total Wine, let's use the one up in Altamont here, right? You walk into your Total Wine, and you're like, wow, it's a cavernous, a warehouse-esque feel with every single spirit you could imagine that you could achieve through purchase, bourbons and gins and seltzers and beers and wines from all over the world. And then you go to the back and you see a sign and a swinging door and it says lounge.
And it smells just like how you think it would.
And you push open the door and you walk back there and there's a GD nightclub.
I forgot all about those places.
In the liquor store.
JD Penguins.
JD Penguins. For you guys who don't remember back in the day, imagine Total Wine like having a straight up bar lounge. And here's the thing. It wasn't like a novelty. It wasn't like, oh, check it out.
No, they were everywhere.
ABC has a bar. This thing was a banger. Like, I mean, you made plans to go to JD Penguins in the back of a liquor store. And I remember going the first time. I was like, I can't find this thing anywhere. And a guy's like, what? It's right there. It's right by ABC. I'm like, no. I'm here. I'm in the parking lot. And there's tons of cars, but where is it? He goes, no, you got to go into the store. I'm like, the club is in the store?
Yeah.
And he goes, it's in the back. And sure enough, you walk back there. And it was the strangest thing because you'd walk through the store, people in there shopping, just picking up their weekend, liquor for their parties, whatever. And you could hear a faint sound of music and conversation coming from the back. And as you got closer to that swinging door, you could see the word lounge. And as you got there, you smelled the cigarette smoke. Like you can't even.
Yes, the stale beer.
Like you can't even imagine. Oh, yeah.
Breathe it in deep.
And look, man, the minute that door cracked, like, oh, yeah, that's a club.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's that weird smell of people, sewage, and stale everything. Cigarettes. It's a candle you never want.
Smells like a good time.
I'll never forget, especially Wednesday morning. So Calico Jack's, I'd be, the manager there, and we had quarter beer night on Tuesday nights.
Oh.
But you come in that Wednesday morning, even though they cleaned and stuff, but, you come in and that stale beer smell. Oh, it's
nothing like it.
It's like every tavern in Wisconsin smells like that and vinyl bar stools.
Look, man, I went, again, for the first, I've been in this business 30 plus years or whatever, but for the first 15, 18 years of my career, there was money in the business, but really where you made money as a personality in this business for years is
nightclubs.
You did bar gigs, right? You stayed there a couple hours, asked people to come out and hang out with you. You do drink specials and stuff, or maybe lead some of the bar games. And man, I did that 3 or 4 nights a week. It really, it allowed me to kind of move forward and keep this as a career. And I remember walking into a number of the bars that I worked, and I mean, it was rancid. Like rancid.
Like JJ Whispers was only fun as long as they kept the lights off.
Exactly, right.
As soon as the lights came on, you're like, whoa,
right.
Too many stories these walls could tell.
That's the one place where you wanted every girl to wear way too much perfume. Like, please, God, wear enough perfume to kill this that's happening to me. All right, 407-916 to call us. Text us to 77031. You can leave a talkback. You can do that as well. Get the iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it and use that microphone to send your comment on over. We'll take a little break, come back with What'd You Do That's New.
Ooh, I'm going to make you mad.
We'll go over my choice, which
I'm
is...
going to make you mad.
One of the, actually, and you learned this during the video, at one point, what I'm telling you about in my hometown was one of the top tourist attractions that this state had to offer. We'll talk about the Ravine State Gardens, and then we'll find out what Deb has to offer right after this.
The Tampa Bay Bucks are back on Monday Night Football as they face the Kansas City Chiefs. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. this Monday on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app. Presented by Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Heavy traffic continues this afternoon on I-4 in the usual spots for drivers traveling by the major attractions areas and through downtown. Looking at delays from the earlier crash reported eastbound on 434 at Rangeline Road. Things are looking good east and westbound today on Florida's major 408 toll road. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. It is October. Halloween is right around the corner. And let me tell you, it can get a little spooky out there, but it can get real spooky in your body, especially if you don't pay attention to it and you let those nagging little aches and pains that you've been feeling now for the last 4 or 5 years, you've convinced yourself that's something that's, it's fine. It's probably I just worked out too hard or drank a little too much. But, man, you got to pay attention to that stuff. You really do. Life Imaging FLA and their free heart scan can help you look inside your body and make sure that those little aches and pains aren't lurking big-time problems that could cause you major issues. And remember, guys, this is a free scan, just a few minimum requirements, but it is a $699 value, and the entire process only takes a few minutes. There are no dyes or injections. You stay completely clothed. And let me tell you, the information that you can glean from this is amazing. When I took my disc to my primary care doctor, they couldn't believe the clarity. It was so easy to make a designation of what I needed. That's what it's all about. Now, remember, while you're there, ask about their cancer screening as well. Imperative to do so. Be proactive, not reactive. And here's how you make your appointment. Simply pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250, say that keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250. Say that keyword free heart scan. They'll connect you in seconds. And guys, make that appointment today. Remember, get over there and make sure that everything's cool. This is the time of year you should take control of your long-term health care. You have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
If you're looking for a taste of Italy, you don't have to go to Europe. Head to Claremont instead for the Italian Fest. This family fun event will feature food vendors, live music, and arts and crafts. Proceeds benefit the Mustard Seed in Camp Boggy Creek. Saturday, November 2nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Claremont Waterfront Park. For more information, go to realradio.fm/events.
Tyler, the Creator. Chromacopia, the World Tour. Special guest, Paris, Texas. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at chromacopia.com. Don't miss Tyler, the Creator.
Chromacopia. Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A54 5G when you switch to the Total 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty, and I am so excited to let you know that my latest podcast interview is with the one and only Tom Hanks.
I have left many wonderful atmosphere or a loving atmosphere without thinking, oh, things were really wonderful back then. I wish I was back there. Jay, I don't think I've ever thought that.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search On Purpose.
Get your lawn ready for fall with help from Tools Ace Hardware and Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Stop by one of Tools' 11 steel locations with service and repair centers for a tune-up on your equipment. Or take advantage of fall savings on blowers, trimmers, and more. Right now, save $50 on the gas-powered MS250 chainsaw or the battery-powered BGA 57 handheld blower. At Tools, we service what we sell, which means you can bring in your Steel Outdoor Power Equipment to one of our 11 locations for any repairs or warranty issues. Tools is here to help with 13 locations in Central Florida. Visit toolsacehardware.com to find a location near near you. Tools Ace Hardware, your local helpful place.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace.
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
I'm Olivia. When I was injured in a car crash, I knew from listening to this station who I needed to call. I called attorney Glenn Klossman. I knew I had a super lawyer on my side. I was extremely happy with the results. I'm Olivia, and I highly recommend attorney Glenn Klossman, Office Winter Park.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. MONEY, money. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Money, MONEY. That is your 4 o'clock keyword. Get over to realradio.fm and send that on for your chance at $1,000. Yesterday, we did have a winner from Davenport.
Mark.
That's right. Took home his $1,000 and called Jack immediately. I won, man. I won. Give me that $1,000. Remember, if you're playing the game, keep your phone on. Answer it when you get that call, even if you don't recognize the number. My friends, that is how they tell you you've won. So you got to pick that up. Again, money is your 4 o'clock keyword. Good luck. Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Hi there.
Let's do what you do that's new.
What you do that's new. What you do that's new. Hey! If we only knew something new to do, we're relying on you. Tell us something new brought to you by Clausman Law.
That's right, Clausman Law, KLAUSMAN law.com. Office is right there in Winter Park, 407-917-1718. Car crash call Clausman. We'll talk to Glenn on Thursday for Colbert Court. What you do that's new every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. One of the members of the show will choose something for the other members to watch, read, or listen to. We will then reconvene on the following Tuesday to discuss that and get a new idea. Today is mine. We'll find out what Deb has to offer here in just 1 second. Now, I mean, Deb likes to weaponize this, as does John.
I do not.
Okay, so what I chose was this. I am from a small town in North Florida. I've mentioned it quite often, and I love my little hometown. It was a wonderful place to grow up, and I try to shed as much light on it as possible. It's one of the poorest counties in all of all of Florida, Putnam County. But it does have a lot to offer in really hometown kind of feels. And one of the great meeting places, and I think every small town has that like that place where a lot of people will go to like just do family stuff, maybe a park or something of that nature. And Ravine Gardens has been that for people who have lived in Palatka for a century almost. I think it was built in 36 or something like that. FDR, I believe, allocated the money to do so. And for every family I've ever known in Palatka or Putnam County, the Ravine has a real special place to us because that's where we go for like our family birthday parties. That's where we take our graduation and engagement photographs. That's where you go to exercise or just enjoy some time away, or walk and just enjoy the azaleas that bloom all throughout the place. And I thought it would be kind of cool for you guys to see that because places like this that are impoverished don't really ever get anything positive said about them, and that's why I try to hold up P-Town because I think it's a wonderful place, and I think the Ravines is a magical spot.
Which is why I was amazed that you could fill 11 minutes and 30 seconds in a travel video to Palatka. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much.
And I've never heard of the Ravine Gardens before.
It's worth a drive.
Yeah.
I'm
depends
telling
on where
you.
you're driving from.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's worth the drive. For one thing,
the length.
To drive up to the city, right? So it's about an hour and a half from Central Florida. If you live here in Maitland, it's about an hour and a half to get up there. And they have a killer brewery. They got a riverfront up there that's really nice. And of course, the ravines, you can spend half the day in there just enjoying it.
I was surprised by a couple of things I learned. One, that the obelisk where they have 48 of the state flags. What was interesting is that the only two that they're missing are Alaska and Hawaii, and that's because this place was built before they joined the Union.
That's exactly right.
So that was fascinating. And then to find out that the Ravine Garden has 68 out of the 72 known varieties of azaleas, that over 60 have been identified just in this one park.
Absolutely.
So, I didn't realize that, and that, Palatka is known for all the murals.
Yeah, man. It's they call it Mural City now because a lot of the buildings have murals, and they're nice murals. They're not like, some guy just like like the mayor's son has a paintbrush.
Yeah, like they got tagged.
It's not like that at all. Jack, did you find it kind of cool?
I did, yeah. And this guy, what's his name? It's Chad. Yeah, Chad Gallivanter. I've seen his videos before. He does a good job. He's also got this deep voice.
Weird voice.
Got a real deep voice.
Actually, yeah.
Over here in Palatka.
Yeah.
The azalea, and even held a beauty pageant at this very amphitheater.
Yeah, look, if you go back into the history, like you can YouTube it. Actually, Jack has it up right now. That's what my childhood was like. My childhood was going to the ravines and going to the Azalea Festival. They hold it in I believe the first week of March every year. But February is the month that you go up there to see the azaleas bloom. And it's weather reliant. You have to have positive weather to get it. But when you get up there and they're in full bloom, it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming. So many colors and so vibrant. It's beautiful.
And so what I do like the fact that he actually got some, archive footage.
Yeah.
And so you could see the old beauty pageant that they did there, decades ago, and as well as the old advertisements for it
It was a state recognized festival that everybody came to. That amphitheater you see there will hold hundreds of people, and it was standing room only. I think they had the Miss Florida pageant there once.
And they said it was one of the top 10 tourist destinations for the state of Florida.
Yeah, so it's
Palatka.
Palatka. That's right. Well, you got to remember, Palatka and Sanford were supposed to be the epicenters of business, going from Jacksonville to Palatka to Sanford.
Because they're on the St. Johns.
Because they were on the St. Johns. That's the only way you could get here before they built the railroad.
Yeah, the steamboats.
That's right. You had to take the boat down. So at one point, you look at the history of Palatka, it was a massive, thriving city. I think it's burnt down twice. Sanford was also supposed to be that because you could come down, you could visit, you could vacation down here.
You could do business.
You could do business down here, trade. It was a big trade area at one point. And then, of course, once the railroad came, that was it. And then the major road system, that was all. I mean, it could bypass small cities like my hometown. And a lot of other coastal cities got that same treatment.
Right, yeah.
One exit more and your business is dead. And that's exactly what happened a lot of times. Whereas you would have to go through some of these little roadways, you didn't have to do that anymore. And you kind of missed out on wonderful little places like my hometown.
That's just like Radiator Springs.
Yeah. It's like Radiator Springs for
the movie
sure.
Cars.
All right, Deb. Well, that was mine. If you guys want to check that out, you can do it. Go to JimColbertLive.com. The What'd You Do That's New master list is right there. It'll give you YouTube. You can click right through it. And by the way, it goes over some other stuff other than ravines about my hometown that you may find interesting as well, down by the riverfront, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, they got a free museum.
Got a free museum there.
I thought that was pretty cool, too.
A wonderful collection of like little antique stores and curiosity stores, which we like.
Bottle caps and rocks. And
stuff. This guy and this mother. This guy's from Jersey taking shots.
Yeah, he does, man.
This guy is from
All he
Jersey.
needs is a velour jumpsuit, and we're good to go.
They got their beer can museum.
You son of a bitch. Why don't you put your Italian horn in your shirt so I can't see it, please?
All right.
What do you have for us,
So
Kim?
my choice for next week is actually to give you gentlemen a choice.
Okay.
All right. So I have a political 13-minute video. We could do that.
Ugh.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Now, these are movies you have not seen.
Okay.
So you have your choice, Jimmy. It being Halloween, I thought you should check out the 1968 classic with a 21-year-old Mia Farrow and Rosemary's Baby.
Oh my God, that is legend. Have you ever seen it, Jack?
No.
It is one of the most unsettling movies you could ever watch.
Have you seen it?
It's unsettling.
I didn't realize you had seen it.
Oh yeah, man. Rosemary's Baby is unsettling.
It is very unsettling.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of yeah. You're like, whoa.
They made a Jennifer. Who was the one? The real kind of tomboyish one. Oh God, she was pretty hot. She was in. She was an archer in those movies.
Yes.
Lawrence. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence,
Yes,
right?
Lawrence Jennifer.
Yeah. She God dang, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
I think they're getting ready to do a prequel, actually, to Rosemary's Baby, focusing on the woman who had that the old couple had befriended before.
Right. Well, she did a movie called Mother with Javier Bardem.
Oh, I remember you guys talking about that.
It is. I'm telling you, if you want your mind pulled out and then done stuff too, and then put back in dirty, not even cleaned up.
I don't know about that.
Go watch Mother, and I think that's like the newest iteration of what Rosemary's Baby may be like. But that is a super creepy movie.
Yeah. So it was going to be that or Apollo 13. Or the Wisconsin county that has backed the winning presidential candidate in every single election in this century.
Ooh.
Why can't you make your mind up?
Yeah.
Because
that's actually very good, too.
It is interesting. It's Door County, Wisconsin. For those who don't know, Bob Hope used to have a vacation home there. It's called the Cape Cod of the Midwest.
Really?
You know the thumb of Wisconsin?
Yeah.
So Door County is at the tip of the thumb. It's some of the prettiest property in all of Wisconsin. You've got your Bayside. You've got your Lake Michigan
I was going to say,
side.
it's Lake Michigan. Yeah, I was going to.
And it's Wisconsin. So you would think it's a very staunchly conservative place, and yet that little tip of the thumb is deeply, deeply purple, and they have picked the winner of every election for the last 6 elections.
Really?
Now, I've seen Apollo 13, so I could pretend to watch it again.
And I've seen Rosemary's Baby, so I could do the same.
Yeah.
I would
Or-
actually rather watch that video.
I think we should watch the election video because we will be reviewing this on Election Day.
Yeah,
there
we
you
will.
go. Okay, though
All
I
right.
have it pulled up. So what we'll do instead of Rosemary's Baby, check it out anyway because it's Halloween. Well, you
Yeah.
already have. Check it out, Jack.
Okay.
It's Halloween. He's not going to check
Dude,
it
it's
out.
creepy.
I might.
But yeah, so
it
this.
depends on what happens in the baseball world.
Okay.
Oh,
Jack, stop.
yeah.
Get over it.
4 straight, baby.
Hey.
Get over it. What
Don't
do you mean?
tell him to get
over
over
it,
it.
Jack.
It's fall classic, man.
Get over this, Jack. Get over it.
It sucks.
It might be the douchiest thing you've ever said.
No, get over it. No.
That's quite the long list.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, so we'll be reviewing this, but I do hope, Jack, that you do check out Rosemary's Baby. It's the Dakota building where John Lennon, lived with Yoko Ono, of course, with David Mark Chapman. Mia Farrow, directed by Roman Polanski. I want to say that this was one of his last films that he directed before he had to run off to Europe.
You talk about a dysfunctional cast. One guy got basically thrown out of the country for sleeping with minors, and the other one got their daughter stolen by her husband. Dun, 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 dun. It's Hollywood.
And I think she was married to Frank Sinatra at the time that she made Rosemary's Baby.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Mia
Didn't know
Farrow was. So, but I've already sent it off to Jack about
Very nice.
this Wisconsin county has backed the winning presidential candidate for the last 6 elections.
We'll check that out for sure.
All right.
All right, very good. Good job, man. I appreciate that. I'm excited about seeing it. I actually may watch it during the show.
It's very interesting, actually.
All right, 407-916-1041. You can always text our show at 77031. Money, by the way, is your 4 o'clock keyword, MONEY. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Let's get back and talk about that Tim Walz thing. I think that's kind of interesting. We'll do that next.
What you do that's new, brought to you by Glenn Klossman, KLAUSMANLAW.com. Proudly sponsored since day one by Glenn Klossman, KlossmanLaw.com.
Bye. Heavy traffic continues this afternoon on I-4 in the usual spots for drivers traveling by the major attractions areas and through downtown. Looking at delays from the earlier crash reported eastbound on 434 at Range Line Road. Things are looking good east and westbound today on Florida's major 408 toll road. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Any size soft drinks for $1. Wendy's has any size a la carte $1 soft drinks. Coke, Sprite, strawberry Fanta, whatever you want. Any size soft drink for $1? Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Guys, not a big secret that real estate market here is changing and booming now more than ever. I mean, your house, of course, that is your most valuable asset. That is one of the many reasons you need a real estate company that's always one step ahead of the market, whether you're buying or selling. That is the Nickley Group. These guys sell homes on average of about 6% more, and they sell them twice as fast as well. Not to mention, clients on average save about $24,000 when they purchase a home with the Nickley Group. Interest rates now lower than they've been at 18 months, and your buying power is tens of thousands of dollars better than it was just a year ago. Not to mention, September did set the record for the highest average sale price in Central Florida. What I'm saying is the money's out there. These houses still sell for great cash, and their website is awesome. Matter of fact, just mentioning that, you could get a guaranteed cash offer on your house from their website. No showings, no open houses, none of that stuff, and you could close that deal in just 14 days. Get your home instantly valued using current market data, or list your house on the market. All of that right there on their website. Even better, you can get their buyer's guide. And look, here's the important thing. I mean, you need to know what happens here. That buyer's guide is packed with useful information about the home buying and selling process. It's the NickleyGroup.com. That's NICKLEY Group.com.
Divorce? Call Trenley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty, and I am so excited to let you know that my latest podcast interview is with the one and only Tom Hanks.
I have left many wonderful atmosphere or a loving atmosphere without thinking, oh, things were really wonderful back then. I wish I was back there. Jay, I don't think I've ever thought that.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search On Purpose.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, the insurance company may make you a quick offer to go away. They may also be offering you pennies on the dollar. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
We want you to be like Ken, because Ken won $1,000 listening to Real Radio.
You are kidding me.
No joke, man. What were you doing when you heard the keyword?
I was listening to the Jim Colbert show.
You are a wise man, Ken. What will you do with the money?
I am going to surprise my wife with something.
I repeat, you are a wise man, Ken. You too can be like Ken. Listen for the keywords, enter on our website at realradio.fm, then answer your phone when you get the call.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts, Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman for the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. I get less than 30 seconds to convince you to hire my law firm, to trust me, to believe in me, to somehow convince you that my firm is going to get you the best results possible. Now, can you do that in 30 seconds? Hopefully I just did. Contact us at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
New South Window lives southern weather. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
Save 35% off. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. We're going to highlight players, and we're just going to sit here and talk about them. And we'll get into the types of dudes. Is Randy Moss a stud or a freak? Is Tom Brady a dog or a dude's dude?
We're gonna find out, Jules. New episodes drop every Thursday during the NFL season.
Listen to Dudes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dudes on Dudes to start listening.
Trust the leaders at FAS Windows and Doors. Go to faswd.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Jimmy, you're talking about going out to bars back in the day. I remember one time many years ago, you and Black Bean at the Roxy during those fight nights. And you want to talk about people getting some aggression out. That was unbelievable, watching the people just beat the crap out of each other. And then when it comes to you, I don't think I ever saw anybody drink as much Jaeger as you did back in the day. Oh, man, I bet that looked like fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. My favorite was the revolving bar at ABC, corner 436 in 1792. How that thing ran, it was like slow. It would take like, I don't know, 5 minutes for it to rotate. But, man, what a place that was, wall to wall. Now it's nothing but a slab.
Schlab. Nothing but a schlab. Money is your 4 o'clock keyword, M-O-N-E-Y. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. If you want to leave a talk back, if you have an idea or a comment on something we've talked about, please share it. We love that. This is a talk show. This is what we do. Get that iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it, and use that microphone to send your comment over. We'll edit it down and get you on the air. And by the way, edit. We don't edit out any of the content.
No.
We just kind of button it up so we can air it. 30 seconds.
Jack has enough to do, dude.
30 seconds. There you go. All right, welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Yo.
Jack is here as well. Yep. Oh, wait. So this is a Yahoo News story, and it was posted on Instagram October 24th, and it shows a man leaning over the divider of a voting booth in a polling center and patting a person on the head, and the caption said, "Is Tim Walz assisting his son in voting? Should he be sanctioned?" All right, Tim Walz obviously is the candidate for vice president as he runs with Kamala Harris, trying to win the White House. His son, Gus, made a big splash when the announcement was first made, when Joe Biden stepped down to allow Kamala Harris to run for the Democratic Party. And his son, Gus, is what, guys? Is he autistic? I can't remember.
He's neurodivergent.
So, and explain what that means to me so I understand and I don't say it wrong again.
Neurodivergent
learning
is
disability kind of stuff.
Learning disability, autism, Asperger's.
All right.
So you're just wired differently.
Right. And of course I think we all kind of understand, the autism spectrum, there can be, people who are highly high functioning,
and then low functioning.
And then no function. I mean, they basically need assistance for everything in their life.
And in a lot of cases, yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily stick with autism in this particular case. It could be, learning disabilities, it could be anything. And, this brings up a really unique thing. We've talked about people voting overseas. We've talked about, people voting on the space station. We've talked about all this stuff. Matter of fact, we got that question just last week. How do they vote on the space station? We'd covered that a little bit. They handled it beforehand. I guess they handled the balance there, and then they're able to vote. But we've never really talked about this, right? And I think this is a painfully interesting topic, all right? So you have adults that really, they can go from day to day, but cognitively, maybe they don't understand what they're doing, the idea of voting. They're still adults. Do they still have I'm going to say this, I don't want it to be taken incorrectly. Do they have the right to vote?
Yes.
In America? They can vote. How would they determine what they were doing?
This is interesting. I'm on the autismsociety.org's website, and right there on the homepage is a voting guide. This is a voting guide for autistic individuals and breaks down the voting process into clear steps with supportive information.
How do you explain to somebody who has a difficult time, understanding day-to-day things? The idea of a day-to-day thing, like who or why they're voting for a certain candidate.
Because it's so much more than that, and the issue is so much more complex on one person's autism. Highly functioning can be so vastly different than someone who needs 24-hour care.
Now, let me explain real quick, and I understand what you're saying there. Now, I have someone that's I know someone who has a child who is highly functioning. They can operate. They actually have a job. But they cannot live alone. They can stay alone for hours because they know they have a routine where they can stay alone and be perfectly fine for 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. They cannot be alone for more than that because they do have to have reminders in life of what to do. If you saw this person out having a beer or whatever, you would not think twice about it. But I don't know that you could explain to this kid who's now almost 30, I believe. I don't know that you could explain to this person what it means to vote. I don't know that you could explain to them why their vote would be important and what it even means to vote. I don't know that you could do that. I don't know that you could break it down enough where that person would make a vote conscious to what they believe in, if they even understand what they're doing.
And in a lot of cases, they do. My nephews, they do communicate through their computers,
right,
where they have that special key,
right,
keyboard that will say the words for them, and they're definitely opinionated.
Yes.
So I think there's a difference between folks that you're thinking of,
right?
Because there is the capacity to understand.
Okay.
But it does depend on the level of disability.
How about Downs? Like if you have a child or someone in your family who's Downs, and they can make it from day to day, they need supervision.
They absolutely can vote.
They need supervision. But how do you explain to somebody with maybe, and I know Downs has also levels that, that some are more communicative than others, more able than others. But how do you explain to somebody with Down syndrome, can they understand the complexity and issues going into a vote? Or do they need to just know one or two things? Or do they vote like mom or dad votes? Or, do they understand the issues at hand?
I think for them, it's let them show you their level of understanding before you move forward with that.
Right. In other words, you would be like, what's important to you?
You engage them in the conversation about voting and the ballot, and then gauge their interest. And I mean, hell, anybody that's interested in voting at this point, right?
Right, yeah. I would love
neurodivergent or not.
Man, I would love to hear from somebody in our audience that has to deal with this. I find this painfully interesting because I would think that you would probably have to make a checklist, right? And you would have to be a good parent, regardless of how you vote, right? Maybe you're a conservative, maybe your wife's or you're a Republican and Democrat, and you make a checklist of the issues that each candidate is standing for in no particular order. Don't put them in a list. Don't say this is what Democrats like, this is what Republicans like. Just make a list of issues that are human interest issues, everything from abortion to legalized marijuana to tax rates, all of that stuff, and you just list it. And one by one, you explain, hey, what this means is this. And then you let them kind of come to a conclusion. Then afterwards go, well, based on your answers here, you should probably vote for this candidate. But do you think that could work?
Or they tell you, no, I want to vote for this candidate.
Right, yeah. But what, I mean, again, it doesn't really have to be for anything. You could like the suit that person wears or the way they do their hair, right?
And so can you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, 'cause
Same thing. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Somebody texted, we let dumb people vote, so why not mentally challenged? And that is
That's
the
legit.
truth. That is
Yep.
legit. You have so many people who go into the ballot box who might eeny, miny, moe their ballot, not really putting that much attention or thought into it. They're just voting according to what their family, tends to lean towards. So many different styles of voting. And there's a young lady with Down syndrome on Instagram this weekend talking about, what it means to not be challenged because you assume they can't do something because they're Down syndrome. She's like, get out of my way with your assumptions. Let me show you what I can do.
Right. Have you ever heard of a story that covers this? Have you ever seen any major news outlet cover the idea of people who are neurodivergent in any way, shape, or form casting votes? I've not heard any of this. I mean, this story was fascinating to me because, again, I've just not heard of that particular audience spoken to directly. Spoken to even through someone who would help them in their daily lives.
And yet autismsociety.org right there on their homepage is voting guide before voting day, register to vote, preparing to vote. So it's all about, and it just breaks it down, makes it real simple.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't really matter because you don't have to explain your vote.
No.
Obviously, it doesn't really, no one has to explain their vote, so it wouldn't matter who they voted for. They're voting what they think is right. I mean, whether or not there's a due influence from mom and dad, I don't guess it matters.
As long as they're registered.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people in this building you can ask.
Oh, yeah?
We have a business on the first floor that is.
Oh, yeah.
It's about finding jobs for people with autism.
Yeah,
go on a field trip, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But it says,
knock on their door.
It says, even if the Minnesota governor had been helping his son, he would not have broken the law. Statute mentioned, it says a voter in need of assistance because they're unable to read English or physically mark a ballot may be helped by election judges or any other individual of the voter's choice. Passed an 84 for that.
Which is cool, because if someone is blind, if someone...
Right, yeah.
Just let their vote count.
I would think that's probably... Do you think that's how parents do it, though? Like, if you have a 30-year-old child and they have Down syndrome and they're able to make their way through life, do you make that list and say, hey, look, do you care about this? Check. Do you care about that? Check.
No,
or do you just you put them in front of a debate, like get some debate footage and let them see how they act, or what? I mean...
They might be ahead of you and be interested in the debate footage. I think you're coming at this from a behind the perspective that the individual wouldn't lead the conversation or ask the questions, that it would be the parent that would have to do that. I would be interested to see how many neurodivergent individuals say, hey, these policies could affect me, or Mom, how do I register to vote? And actually be the one to lead the conversation, and then the parent would be the one to follow.
God, I would think, again, this is just me being completely ignorant. I would think that would be the smallest possible portion of that audience that would actually kind of pick up and go. Now, again, I've never lived with anybody like this. I've known people in my life that had children that dealt with this, but it's weird to hear that they would engage that first. But again, I don't know about any of that stuff. I think that's kind of one of the reasons I brought this up.
Right.
You might find them more engaged.
Yeah, maybe so, Jack. It's
because
just
of the interest in not understanding. Well, why is this like this? And just a curiosity.
Yeah, someone with Asperger's is going to point out the ridiculousness. The oxymoronic stuff we put up with in life. They're like, wait a minute, that makes no sense at all.
Why do you do it this way?
Exactly. And you think you're smarter because,
Somebody said here there are people out there voting who have a lower IQ than people on the spectrum, so let them rip.
That's not an inaccurate statement.
It's not. It really isn't.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. So amazing, man. What an interesting time to live in. I would have never even considered that aspect of voting, that entire audience. That's got to make up a relatively pretty good percentage of Americans, right?
Well, it is now. I mean, if you think back in the day, like I remember when my nephews were born, autism was still kind of considered one of those silent diseases because it doesn't kill. So it doesn't kill, so it doesn't get the research money. What changed that was politicians' grandchildren being born with autism, celebrities' children being born with autism, and then all of a sudden autism became a much bigger issue.
Right.
Excuse me. It used to be 1 in 150 children would be born with autism. Now I think it's less than 1 in 100.
Yeah, it's
so
real.
it's a lot of parents out there dealing with this.
It used to be much greater than that, but they also question whether it was just undiagnosed.
Yeah.
On people on that lower end of the spectrum.
Exactly. It's kind of like ADHD. You're hearing a lot of adults now finally saying, that's what I've had my whole life, but there was no diagnoses for it, especially for young women dealing with ADHD diagnosis. So, I mean, you've always talked about being ADHD, but never being properly diagnosed with it.
Yeah, no, matter of fact, I read a story about it today and how many people go undiagnosed or maybe even overdiagnosed for ADHD. I show a number of symptoms of it. I mean,
oh, hell you do.
Yeah, I do. I have a number.
You're a poster child for ADHD.
I do have a number of those things, but
we're from the generation where that wasn't, I mean, it had to be profound.
Yeah.
Where it disrupted your school life. You had to be pulled out of classes. That's what it took for kids, for parents of our generation, because that just sounded like an excuse, right?
Right, yeah, sure.
To our parents, that's an excuse to not do your homework.
Yeah, I would never bring this up to anybody in my hometown. They're like, shut up.
Right.
You sound gay.
Yeah.
That's what they would say. I mean, I would, if you even mention that you have a mental issue.
And those people vote too, Jim.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
We just talked about them.
But they're not wired as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you're 100% right. I mean,
but no, that's not my point. My point is that, like Love on the Spectrum, these television shows have allowed us the opportunity to see individuals on the spectrum, whatever spectrum they may be on, as more fuller people, as individuals who want to experience romantic love and sexual satisfaction and all those things that we kind of considered saved for quote unquote normal people.
Right.
Love on the Spectrum shows you that you're a human being.
Yeah, they feel it for sure.
You feel it physiologically.
And look, I'll make a statement that is, I mean, look, here's the thing. I will be completely transparent. Like when you talk about people on the spectrum, to me, for years, they seem like cats, right? Like cats. They were definitely smart and a little bit to themselves and very unique.
Right.
And not very verbal or very, touchy. Touching them was a little weird. So that's kind of how I viewed them as, kind of semi-loners because they didn't know how to communicate properly. And people kind of got weirded out by that. Like they weren't able to create a conversation. So that's a basic human element of getting to know someone. And when they don't communicate like, quote, everybody else, it becomes a little uncomfortable for the person who's trying to do it. Not for the person who may be on the spectrum, but for the person.
They're looking at you like, what's wrong with you?
Exactly, man.
What's wrong with you?
And they
just roll with it.
And some of them understand. Some of them are self-aware.
No. They understand. The difference is that you assume they don't understand because they can't communicate what they understand to you. But yes, they absolutely understand.
Well,
inside their trapped mind, they're there screaming every swear word, and it just doesn't. I remember when my nephew let loose an F word in class, we celebrated for days. It was used properly.
I love that.
I mean, it was such a glimpse. And it's so rare to see, but man, do we celebrate it.
My nephew got in a auto accident when he was 16. Suffered brain damage that affected his motor skills and his speech.
Right.
Did not affect the way he thinks.
No.
But because, he's slow to move around and his head tilts a little bit, and he speaks slowly, you just assume, I must speak slower for you to understand me. And, but his brain is fully functioning. It's the motor skills that have been affected. And just people make these assumptions on what you can and cannot do, or they think you can and cannot understand based on, what they see.
Right.
Really, there's a lot we don't know.
Our perceptions end up limiting them.
Yeah.
It's not their inability to be limitless. It's like, you're down, so you probably shouldn't vote.
I would think understanding of those people now is better than ever. Would you agree with that? Like the information that we have and the information of how people who don't deal with these particular issues, how to communicate and how to, offer a little bit more of a positive experience around people who don't communicate like everyone else communicates.
It wasn't that many decades ago when they were called idiot savants.
Yeah.
And just like the movie Rain Man, they were institutionalized.
Right.
Now, rather than sending them off somewhere, families and communities are learning how to,
Yeah, teach them math and buy them a suit and you're rich. All right, 407-916-1041.
Okay, Elon.
Text us at 7703. We got a few minutes left for your 4 o'clock keyword. It is money, M-O-N-E-Y. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Back in a sec to tell you why Subway is being sued.
Again?
Again. Boy, these guys can't move.
Like a Subway.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
Right here, right now. There is no other place I want to be.
Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
What's going on, everybody? Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. A blend of clouds and some sunshine over the next several days. Windy, east winds 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 each day. A couple of rain showers possible within that easterly flow. Now, looking in the tropics, there is the potential for tropical storm or Hurricane Patty in the Caribbean next week. Right now, it appears to be a low chance of it hitting Florida, but there is still a chance nonetheless. We will keep a close tab on it for you over the coming days.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
For decades, Camtech School of Construction has been the leader in preparing thousands of people to advance their career as a licensed contractor. Check out our seminar this Wednesday, 7 p.m., Orlando Holiday Inn Universal. Get licensed, get legal, get Camtech. CamtechSchool.com. What are you waiting for?
Life certainly has a way of throwing us unexpected curveballs. It's a shift in careers or an unforeseen medical expense and even natural disasters. I'm Jeff Jr. at Trajan Wealth, offering heartfelt wishes for better days ahead. We understand that even the best laid plans need flexibility, and that's exactly why our team of experienced advisors are here to support you, offering guidance to navigate life's challenges to help ensure your finances can weather any storm. Call Trajan Wealth for a second opinion, a little peace of mind, and a customized financial plan from one of our fiduciary advisors. With your goals in mind, this is designed to help you plan your financial path forward and offer a little reprieve from all of the other things you're dealing with. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando. For 36 years, I've dedicated my life to law enforcement. With time, I've gained invaluable experience. And with that experience, a strong desire to evolve. I've worked to transform our Sheriff's Department, ensuring we have the latest technology to protect our community and maintain our commitment to our youth. Being a proven leader means embracing change, because with growth and innovation, we can achieve remarkable results and build a safer community for everyone. Paid by Mike Chitwood, Independent for Sheriff.
Listen up, peeps out there. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason out there, you got to take a few minutes and learn about the Nickley Group before you make a move. These guys are really changing the real estate game. Stress-free, innovative real estate solutions for home sellers and buyers. And do not believe the news that the market is softening. Homes in this area are selling for record prices still. And if you're considering selling your home for any reason, any at all, downsizing, relocating, maybe you just need a bigger house because your family's getting bigger, you got to contact the guys at the Nickley Group. Not only does the Nickley Group sell homes on an average for 6% more, they're going to sell them twice as fast as well. You could get your home valued instantly. You could get a guaranteed cash offer right now if you'd like, or just list your home. Do that today at thenickley.com. You can Google them. They 3,000 five-star reviews. They're good at what they do. And if you're longing for that next level real estate experience, which includes a lot of stuff, mortgage services, moving assistance, elite marketing, a team of experienced realtors, and much more, it is simple. It's thenickley.com. That's N-I-C-K-L-E-Y group.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
What up, guys? Sport from Duval.
Duval.
I have a family member that's autistic, and my aunt won't let him vote. Like she'll quiz him, ask him different questions, but he just doesn't comprehend exactly what he's voting for or what it means. So she doesn't even let him vote. Maybe one day she will if he starts to understand it. But there are dumb people that vote. I mean, okay, I don't want to say dumb people. Let's not call them that. Let's call them Cowboy fans. They vote.
Get in there, dude. I love it.
One of the cool things about someone with ADD, ADHD, a neurodivergent, they're able to pick up on subtleties and patterns and recognize patterns in individuals. So it would be cool to use that, I guess, toward deciding which candidate you're going to vote for based on what you know.
Yeah.
All right, later, Holmes.
Thanks,
Skillets. Good show. Love you.
Thank you, buddy. Love you too.
Yeah, hey guys. I have a daughter that has fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, similar to autism in some of the symptoms, but different causes. She cannot remember to do her own laundry, but she does understand certain political concepts and issues. So I don't know if autism is the same, but I thought you might find that interesting.
Yeah, man.
Hey guys, I'm a special ed teacher, and for the longest time I worked with adults with special needs, and voting is a big part of the self-advocacy skills that we work on with them. Starting at around age 14, we start talking about that kind of stuff, and then after they graduate, we continue talking about that too.
It's an important part of the adult process, right?
Yeah, it really is. It is. Yeah, man. 407-916-1041 to call us. Text us at 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. We'll take those talkbacks all day long. We love it when you guys give those. We can actually, it doesn't have to be on topic for this segment either. You can hear what we're talking about now and then send us a talkback later down the show. We can re-reference that, and we appreciate that very much. Those guys are talking about, if you're just getting in your car and you're just listening to us, Tim Walls' son is neurodivergent. And there was a video of him voting or whatever, and I guess people were claiming that he was helping him vote, as if basically trying to infer that he's suggesting how he should vote,
right?
Which brought up the question whether or not that neurodivergent people do vote if they understand the complex issues of voting for a candidate in anywhere. It doesn't have to be just for the presidency; it could be for a school board member, And I think we're getting resounding answers that a lot of them can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I love hearing that. All right, so Subway. We remember what was the big first Subway problem? Actually, there were two.
Yoga mats.
No, not
the yoga mats in their bread. You don't remember that?
Yes, I understand the yoga mats in the bread. You say that it's the bread issue, right? The bread was a problem.
Issue. Yeah.
Well, it had yoga mats in it.
You guys are killing me. No. Was it the same chemicals that made up the yoga mats?
Literally.
Some of the same ingredients in yoga mats, they said, were part of the bread. And also, the bread was less than a foot. So the foot long.
Well, then there's four issues
wasn't quite a foot.
All right, so we have the bread yoga mats, and then the bread not being long enough.
And then I believe they couldn't even call it bread in some places.
They couldn't call it bread.
Yeah.
But there's another product they couldn't call something, remember?
Yeah, because it's my favorite sandwich at Subway, and they said there was no tuna in their tuna.
Yeah.
I think the CEO had to come out and kind of say something in regards to that, right?
Tuna. There was another fish that helped make up, but there was still tuna in the tuna.
Right. So they caught some hell. As a matter of fact, they got sued for that foot long. There was a clash. There was
Jack,
you mother! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Foot long.
Now give him one for the yoga mat.
I didn't get that wrong. I just didn't remember. I don't deserve a buzz for that. You son of a bitch. So on top of the bread being like a yoga mat, right, and having other fun stuff in it, that the sandwiches weren't actually a foot long. That was a class action lawsuit, and they actually had to pay out for that. If you'll remember,
did they?
I think so.
As well for the tuna not having tuna.
So then the tuna. So what do you?
I like their tuna.
Yeah, I love their tuna.
And the thing is you really don't have to have a bunch of tuna in there. It's basically flavored mayonnaise. Is all you're getting anyway. So with that said, what do you think the new lawsuit for Subway is? By the way, are you guys Subway fans at all?
I haven't had it in a while, but I
still
like
a good time.
See, occasionally it's much like McDonald's. Occasionally, about once every 3 months, I'll buy a BMT, bigger, meatier, tastier. It's basically their version of an Italian, and it doesn't hurt me. I actually don't mind it at all.
You got the whole Jared situation.
Yeah, the Jared thing was bad too.
But something that came out of that was the fact that if you can use that to really limit your calorie intake and just have a diet.
A 6-inch turkey, no cheese is what he ate every day for every meal every day for 6 or 8 months to lose all that weight, so he could really even more effectively pedophile.
Yeah, well, I think turkey on whites, if he's lucky, he'll be having that for the rest of his life. It's just not from Subway.
Exactly.
It's called the prison commissary.
He's getting a foot long, all right. Oh, yeah.
Well, I know this current story,
You
so
do?
I have to take myself out of
All right,
rotation.
Jack, have you heard the story of what they're getting popped for this time?
I do not. No.
It's an old argument for a lot of fast food places, really, to be quite honest with you. Remember when they started marketing fast food, what was the big problem? Do you remember this? When they started marketing fast food, there was a big issue for years that the photographs did not really represent the product. It was a big thing, right? Like every news station did this thing where they would order a sandwich, they would go outside, they would open up the box of the sandwich, and they would compare the sandwich they actually got from the store to one that was on the marketing materials.
Hell, Chipotle's going through that right now with that viral mess going on.
And it is not even, let me tell you,
stand there
man.
and record while they serve your bowl.
It's not even close. It's like a bum put it in his bicycle sack and then drove from here to St. Augustine and back. That's what it looks like. But in the picture, it looks like it was made by God. Like you can smell the beef. I would lick the poster. Like, so good. But what's happening here is exactly that, right? So you see their steak and cheese sub, and that thing looks like it doesn't have enough room for all the steak and stuff you're getting. And then you get that sub, and there's plenty of room. Like, it is not showing the amount of steak that it shows in the advertisement.
Yeah.
So again, Subway getting popped in a court in Brooklyn.
I think they said that the pictures show 200% more beef than what customers are actually getting on their
exactly
sandwiches.
What it is. And they use these words, and it's not good when they use this, grossly misled. they grossly misled their audience on what these products are supposed to be. But it's out of New York City. This is a Reuters story, by the way. It says, in reality, according to several photos in the complaint, the fast food chain sandwiches are far more bread than filling.
You mean yoga mat?
Yeah, exactly. This one lady from Queens said she paid $7.61 for a steak and cheese sandwich at a local Subway, not realizing that the ad showed a sandwich containing at least 200% more meat, and then she and other consumers would receive. Her lawsuit seeks unspecified damage for all of New Yorkers. Like, not just her, for New Yorkers.
Damn.
I don't know, do New Yorkers with all those great delis up there eat a lot of Subway? Maybe because of the cost, right?
I don't know.
I mean, there's like a great deli on every other block in Subway or in New York.
Just like any place, it's like there's also local coffee shops, but people, partial to the chains.
Yeah. Wendy's, McDonald's, and Taco Bell all had similar lawsuits. Those were dismissed, by the way.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, those had no merit. So this has happened before, and I'm not 100% sure that this is always added up. And they say that this Subway case represents a, quote, egregious example of the type of advertising that they're trying to stop there.
Grossly and egregious. Not words you want to see describing
all in the same story.
Your business practices.
And there's actually another lawsuit right now pending against Burger King for the very same thing. And, of course, Burger King is a Florida chain. A lot of people don't know that.
I've seen a lot of that because they're running there in the World Series. By the way, 2 opportunities, $5. I'm interested. But there's some, and now I don't know if this is...
What's better than that guy?
Nothing, man.
I don't know if this is a problem with how they are shooting these commercials or the fact that we're all watching big screen, high definition television.
There you go, Jack. I think you just nailed the problem.
Because when I'm looking at Taco Bell close up on a 75-inch television that I'm sitting 8 feet away from, maybe only 6.5 feet.
Flex.
I look at it, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want.
It's not appealing.
It does not look good. And the only thing more frightening than some of the food I see close up is Rick Scott's head.
Oh, stop!
I'm dead serious. On my TV, that is too big and too close to me.
Yeah, it looks like gorgonzola with eyes.
Show title.
He does. He looks like a block of gorgonzolas that can blink
with eyes. Oh, that's good.
Oh. All right, back to good here. Huh? Shake that one off there.
How do you spell gorgonzola?
It's G-O-R Zola. All right, 407.
Isn't there a gun in there?
916-1041. Text us at 77031. Got another keyword coming up for you. Freshy. At the top of the hour. And I will tell you, there's something that's about to hit the market, and you need to pay close attention. Don't get fooled. I'll tell you what that is next.
Your chance to win tickets to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season long on our Instagram at Real Radio 1041.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Things are moving slowly on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area for those taking the interstate east and westbound by the major attractions exits today. Still looking at major delays due to the earlier crash reported at Conway Road and Curry Ford. All northbound lanes remain blocked on 1792 up in Sanford at 24th Place. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Florida Power and Light.
Florida needs a power company that's storm ready. That's why FPL works year-round to keep the power on and restore it safely and as quickly as possible when needed. FPL, working for you every single day. Get ready at fpl.com/storm.
Compare your quote. It is so easy with that mortgage guy, Don. Already have a mortgage quote and you're wondering if it's any good? You know, a recent study showed that less than 20% of people compare their first mortgage quote they get. But don't be a slacker. Get peace of mind. That mortgage guy, Don, can help. And it's so easy to compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don. Just go to the website, hit the button that says compare, and upload your quote. That mortgage guy, Don, will tell you if it's any good. And you can get a quote with no hard credit inquiry. It's peace of mind at your fingertips. So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go! Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
How are you celebrating Veterans Day? At Navy Federal Credit Union, we have a couple ideas. You could help support not-for-profits like The Mission Continues, an organization that helps veterans utilize their skills in new ways. Or you could prioritize hiring veterans and members of the military community, people who know how to make quick decisions under pressure, people who have dealt with crisis and react quickly to it, people with proven leadership and a strong work ethic, characteristics that we see in thousands of veterans who work at Navy Federal. Or you could just show a veteran some love and support, like we do every day for over 2 million veteran members. At Navy Federal, we're celebrating Veterans Day as we have for over 90 years by supporting the military community and helping veterans succeed financially, whether you're transitioning to civilian life or to life's next milestone. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Active duty veterans and their families can join. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
So you want to be my client. You think you deserve fair compensation for your injuries. Well, you got to call me. Can't just keep listening forever. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
As we continue to clean up after Hurricane Milton and take assessment of our property and homes, having the best windows and doors can truly make the difference. The folks at Renewal by Andersen are seeing firsthand the incredible performance of Renewal by Andersen windows and doors in the face of the storms hitting Central Florida. They're having hundreds of clients reaching out to share their experiences. For example, they're hearing people say how they couldn't have made it through the storm without their windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen, how their kids felt so safe because the windows provided such an amazing sound barrier. That's because Renewal by Andersen's windows and doors combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather. And that impact resistance adds a layer of safety for you and your family, especially during hurricane season, and even more so if you live on Florida's coast. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to see all the beautiful design and hardware options available. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
Save up to 50% on select security systems with SafeTouch Security. With upgrades like remote door locks, video doorbell, thermostat control, and camera, all controlled by your MySafeTouch app. Visit safetouch.com. State license number EF2000249.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, dollar. DOLLAR. That's dollar. Enter it now at realradio.fm. Good luck.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Talking about in fast food places, the product not looking like the picture in the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas. That's one of the things that kind of sets him off on a rampage. Was the first off, they tell him they can't give him breakfast because it's too late, like a minute too late, and then he gets mad that the burger isn't looking like the picture, so that kind of sets him off. Good movie.
Hey, Jack. Since the hurricane in Daytona, my back porch, I just have to keep sweeping my back porch. Sweep!
Oh,
dare
Too
you,
soon,
sir.
dude.
How dare you, sir.
I didn't,
Too soon.
I didn't pick up on what he was doing there.
It is too soon because the Yankees are about to run off 4 straight wins.
There you go, Jack.
407-916-1041.
I got money on it.
Text us 77031. Your 5 o'clock keyword is dollar, DOLLAR. Give it to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Had a winner yesterday, Mark in Davenport. Let's get another one today using the word dollar. Guys, remember, if you're playing the game, pick up your phone. If they call, and by the way, you may not recognize that number, but that's how they tell you you've won. So you got to do it. Dollar, guys. That is your 5 o'clock keyword. Good luck. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah, baby.
I was just telling Jack during the break that I last night I was watching the Yankees game, like flipping back and forth to the football game, but because I have no skin in the in a giant Steelers game, we have a bunch of Steelers fans here in the building. One of our favorite people in the building is
Frank,
our engineer Frank Lover, who is a massive Pittsburgh fan. I watched a little bit for him because I always like to create some side conversation. But I flipped over to the Yankees game and up the 4th inning and watched it from there. And, man, it's like every time the Yankees would hit a pitch hard, which they had a hard time doing, it was right at somebody. And in baseball, that's the most frustrating thing, especially when you're watching a television broadcast. Pitch comes in, hit hard, and then they scope out right to a player, inning over. I was like, damn, man.
Yankees are totally getting robbed in this series, despite the fact that the Dodgers are out pitching them, out hitting them, out fielding them, and out running them on the base paths. Other than that, the Yankees should totally be winning this.
Very good. All right. 407-916-1041. By the way, those are talkbacks. We love hearing those. If you have one, get over to the Real Radio app, the iHeartRadio app. Use Real Radio and that little microphone to send your comment on down the line. All right, before we went to break, I was telling you guys something is about to hit the market, and it's something you need to really beware of, especially in this state. Any idea what I could be talking about?
A new product about to hit.
It's not a new product. These are not new products.
Lawn darts.
Not lawn darts. That's such a great answer.
I don't understand the question.
Okay. So the market is about to get inundated with these.
Flooded cars.
Yep.
Flooded cars is the answer. Where does Florida rank in the reselling of flooded cars in the United States?
We are number 1.
No, we are not number 1.
Okay, I'll guess number 2.
No, it's not number 2. We are in the top 10. It's number 10.
Okay, I'm close.
Oh, really?
Okay, so in the States right now, Florida is one of the top 10 markets for flooded out cars. And of course, we've seen some flooding here recently. And what's going to happen is eventually these cars are going to go into a field. They're going to get cleaned up as much as possible, and they're going to get put back on the market.
Yep.
And did they change the law on whether or not you have to mention that? Or wasn't it weird in Florida that even if your car got flooded, you did not have to inform the buyer that was purchasing it that the car had been previously flooded?
I believe that law only applies to your home. So if you're selling your home and it was flooded, that you have to disclose. But I don't remember hearing anything about flooded cars.
Now, I thought there was something inside a car where they could tell.
I heard what you're supposed to do is close all the windows.
Oh, and see if it stinks.
Turn on the AC and then smell for mildew. Look for water damage underneath the seats and the floor mats. Take it to your own mechanic and let them go through and make sure the engine hasn't, sat in water.
Yeah, you also see silt and stuff in certain areas of the car that you may not know. I mean, you can see water levels on the inside of the frame sometimes.
Like on cell phones, I believe, if you open up a cell phone, they have a little sticker there that if that sticker gets wet, it'll change color, so they know that water got on the interior of the phone. So
they call that is ignoring your insurance sticker.
Yeah.
That's what they call that. That is the ignoring your insurance sticker. Yeah. So here's the big tell here, guys, and it's not a big tell per se, but where do you think these go? Where do you think these get sold?
Well, at auction, right?
No, online. And what they say here is this is a Carfax report, and it says, look, man, notable, reputable dealers, when they see cars that come in, they double, triple, quadruple check them, because the last thing you want as a car dealer is getting busted selling flood cars. And for the record, when it comes to used cars in this state, there is no lemon law for flooded cars. So that means if you buy a pre-owned car and it's a dud, you're stuck. You cannot turn it back in. Now, we have a lemon law. If you get a car and you have to, if it breaks, 5 times in the first month or something, you can actually call it a lemon law. Code Black did this with a Jeep of his. He had a Jeep that the top leaked so much that he actually had to
file it for lemon law?
Enact the lemon law to get his money back. And boy, they fought him tooth and nail to get every dime of that back, by the way. They literally fought him tooth and nail to get that back. But in this state, there is no lemon law for used cars in Florida for any reason. So if you buy a used car and it takes a dump on you, it is now your used car with a dump problem.
And it turns out that's not the only thing. Someone just texted us at 77031. Go on Facebook Marketplace and try to buy a golf cart right now. There's hundreds of them for sale that say they don't work, had been underwater in a hurricane.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, how many vehicles right now do you believe were affected by water this summer in Central Florida with the hurricanes? They have an idea. I mean, don't go crazy, but it's a legit number.
5,000.
Okay.
6,000.
89,000.
What?
89,000 vehicles affected by water so far this summer. And that's on top of the 450,000 that were affected last year in this state. So while the numbers represent, these are national stats, by the way, but every corner of the country gets targeted by people who buy these and then try to resell them as legitimate cars. And you got to remember, guys, you buying a Honda Accord that's like maybe 4 or 5 years old, those things hold their value like Mercedes. It gets flooded, you pick them up, you dust them off. Maybe it's only got 24,000 miles on it. You put it out there for a dime, and all you have to do is, like, if it's supposed to be selling for 30, ask 26. People think they're getting the deal of the lifetime. They don't really think about it, really. But Facebook Marketplace was one of the biggest tells here, by the way. That's where they said a lot of people get rid of these things is on Marketplace. That's why if you go, even used car dealers, you have to be very careful with the people who sell used cars. There are reputable used car lots out there, that really vet their cars. They want a good reputation. Our buddy Thurston used to be like this.
Yes.
I knew those guys. They had an entire shop. When they bought a car, they would take it in and do an hour-long inspection of it to make sure that they weren't selling somebody a dud. A lot of people don't have that integrity.
Right.
And they will just take the money and try to run and just kind of let you deal with it with that lemon law that doesn't exist.
Texter's providing some clues if you're trying to determine if a car has seen or has been submerged. One is pull the seatbelt out as far as possible. Look for discoloration there.
Oh, that's a great one.
That is a good one.
Pop off the door panel, see if there's mud or rust on the inside of the door.
That's it. That's the one I knew about is the silt buildup on the door, because it'll go into the panel, and if you don't pop that panel off, and it's just a rubber clip or a plastic clip where you can look right in there and see, but if you don't do that and you buy a car, you can have engine damage. You can have all kinds of damage, especially with salt water.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah.
And like you said, Deb, they do give some clips. Oh, by the way, this is a Channel 9 story. So if you want to go to WFTV.com, you can actually see the story about flood-damaged cars. Close the windows, lock the doors, run the air. A damp or mildew smell should be up. Lift the upholstery.
I had that in my past car. Now I'm wondering if my previous car had that because it had that musty smell when you'd first turn on the AC.
Oh.
Yeah. Make sure all your electronics work, because if your electronics don't work, chances are it's been submerged. Your electric locks, your windows, the small stuff. It doesn't even have to be anything big with the ignition system for the vehicle, just the stuff that you use inside the vehicle. Also, it says run your hand inside the spare tire compartment or under the hood to feel if there's any silt kind of thing. That's the number one thing, because you could pressure wash those things all day long. But when it's underwater, and we've seen that sludge that came running down the hills in the Carolinas, imagine just a slurry, almost like quicksand.
Right.
Well, wherever water would settle, it's going to carry that silt with it. And you can tell it immediately. And if you're on the coast, if you have ocean sand, up in your car, bad news.
Yeah. Texter said they're now transporting vehicles that were flooded in the hurricanes last year. Smell so bad, many coming from Daytona.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And we are a major target for that as well. It says water in the car's mechanical system can lead to corrosion, impact lights, airbags, and even brakes. And, of course, when you talk about the safety of your family, your airbag being compromised would be no good. But yeah, I found this to be quite interesting. And it says the scammers target every corner of the country. They attempt to sell these damaged cars from the original disaster zone because buyers are less likely to look for signs of water or damage.
So they'll take the cars from Florida and ship them out west.
Nebraska, Oklahoma,
California,
middle of this
Idaho,
areas that don't really see this stuff. They don't really expect that. They would never think to check for that. A flooded car. And of course, if you're going to what you think is a reputable car dealer or any car dealer, a lot of people just automatically believe that you're in business, that you're up, you're up. Car dealers, especially used car dealers, have had a really tough time their entire history. They've been kind of a running joke for being kind of scammy. And this, of course, supports that. That's one of those.
Help.
It does not help. But if you're dealing with buy here, pay here stuff, you kind of already are on this block,
Well, it's not just the cars that have been here in Florida. Think of those vehicles that could be salvaged from North Carolina that are going to have the same thing.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Georgia, all those states that were hit with the remnants of Helene and dealing with flooding.
Yeah, somebody just said, hey, shut up. You're telling people how to clean these things. No, it's not like that. Yeah. Nobody's going through that because, the flood damage it affects every aspect of the car. Every single aspect. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Your 5 o'clock keyword is dollar, DOLLAR. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Let's take a little break and get back here with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth for It's Only Money. We'll do that after this.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
I went shooting a couple weeks ago at a place I'd never been to before, and they have
a gun range, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right?
Minigun range.
It'd be weird if it wasn't.
The news junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. goldsmithjewelry.com.
Delays reported all across I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, with the heaviest traffic being reported by the major attractions exits. Looking at a crash partially blocking the on-ramp from Amelia Street to I-4 westbound, causing heavy delays in the downtown area today. If you happen to see any other traffic problems, just make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. If you ask anybody who's experienced LASIK surgery, they will certainly tell you it's the best thing they ever did. The only problem is they'll say they probably should have done it a lot sooner. That's exactly what my father-in-law said when he got his surgery. My son as well. He was like in his mid-50s when he got his. My son was just 18 years old. That just goes to show you, your eye issues do not understand the concept of age. It does not work like that. But if you deal with bad eyesight and you have to wear contacts or glasses and you're sick and tired of it, now is the time to make the move. And here's why. Because the Filatowski Eye Institute is now offering free LASIK consultations. And the easiest way to do this is make your appointment. Text 1041 to 868686. Start your journey to better vision with the Filatowski Eye Institute. They have all the experience you could possibly want, 65,000 LASIK procedures under their belt. You use the latest state-of-the-art tech, getting you the best results every single time. And they even have financing. That's right, 24-month interest-free financing is available. No reason to find out what these guys can do for you right now. Just simply text 1041 to 868686. That way you can schedule your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Your path to better vision begins right now.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
New South Window lives southern weather. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
Save 35% off. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio.
People often ask why I continue to do what I do. For the past 8 years as sheriff, my passion for law enforcement in our community has driven me to make a positive impact. As a dedicated leader, I've introduced new technologies to improve public safety and built programs that strengthen our community ties. Being sheriff isn't just a job for me. It's about making a real difference and ensuring our efforts lead to lasting results by always going the extra mile. Paid by Mike Chitwood, Independent for Sheriff.
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trenley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, one firm for life.
As we continue to clean up after Hurricane Milton and take assessment of our property and homes, having the best windows and doors can truly make the difference. The folks at Renewal by Andersen are seeing firsthand the incredible performance of Renewal by Andersen windows and doors in the face of the storms hitting Central Florida. They're having hundreds of clients reaching out to share their experiences. For example, they're hearing people say how they couldn't have made it through the storm without their windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen, how their kids felt so safe because the windows windows provided such an amazing sound barrier. That's because Renewal by Anderson's windows and doors combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather. And that impact resistance adds a layer of safety for you and your family, especially during hurricane season, and even more so if you live on Florida's coast. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to see all the beautiful design and hardware options available. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
For decades, Camtech School of Construction has been the leader in preparing thousands of people to advance their career as a licensed contractor. Check out our seminar this Wednesday, 7 p.m., Orlando Holiday Inn Universal. Get licensed, get legal, get Camtech. Call 800-875-PASS. What are you waiting for?
Car accidents can be scary, but dealing with the insurance company can be even scarier. This Halloween, don't get tricked. Just call Mo. Injured on the go, just call Mo.com. Orlando's attorneys.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable! They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
How do ordinary people become your friend, Jack? Does it cost money? I mean,
yes.
How do you get a bell? What is the specialty to be your friend? I mean, I'll pay anything in my spare change purse to be your friend.
I think he wants 2 Whopper Juniors for $5.
I think you could do it with a Yankees win.
Yeah, I need a Yankees 4 straight wins and fully fund my retirement account.
There you go. Oh, good. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Dollar is your 5 o'clock keyword, DOLLAR. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. If you'd like to leave a talkback, that's easy as well. Get that iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio and use the microphone to send your comment over. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
I am.
All right, let's do It's Only Money.
Helping people passionate about planning for their future rise above investment myths to build real wealth.
Isn't that really just common sense financial advice?
It's both.
Timing bad.
Okay.
It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
Good aloud for our buddy Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
In person.
This guy. This guy's unbelievable. Look at this guy. Sliding in T-shirts with wristbands and stuff. My God almighty.
Looks like he just got back
from
the club.
I've been in Japan.
Tell me about your Japan trip.
You know, the thing about the Japanese is you can't out-thank them. And I don't mean T-H-I-N-K, I mean T-H-A-N-K.
Right.
Like, if you say thank you, they will say thank you. And if you say thank you again, they will not give up until they get the last thank you in. They defer to each other. It's really quite sweet.
It's I have to tell you, everybody I know that's been to Japan says if they didn't live here, they would live there.
Yes.
And the reason why is the culture is so unbelievably polite.
Yes.
It's so effective. They're so kind. The food is so delicious. Everything is so beautiful. It is like a utopian society when it comes to very little crime and just a fantastic place. A little crowded.
Little, not crazy. I didn't feel that
Really?
way. Yeah, I didn't feel. I was in the center of Tokyo. You know, it's a huge city.
It's 20 million, 18 million people.
I think they say 30 million in the
30?
surrounding areas. You know, like you'd say Orlando with Altamont Springs and Lake Mary kind of thing.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 10, and that's what you got in Tokyo.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's super cool, and yeah, it's clean. It's pretty Western, I think, by comparison to a lot of Asian cultures.
They're fascinated with our culture.
They are.
They are fascinated. And, we were the same way post-World War II. If you go and you look at any of the mid-century modern stuff, massively influenced by Asian, or by Japanese art, by their culture, by their furniture. Yeah. So a lot of that. Matter of fact, in Mount Dora, there's an entire museum. Is it Nakamichi? The famous furniture maker that's down there, Deborah, where they have on the other side of 1921, like right across the street from the restaurant where you host your events.
Yeah.
Where the Modernist Museum is.
Yeah. Dude, this guy, making chairs that are selling for like $20K. It's some of the most...
Must be one hell of a chair.
It must be some of the most desirable handmade furniture in the world was made by this guy, and there's a museum right there in Mount Dora for it.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I have a buddy, my buddy who owns the Kobe's restaurants here in town, and I texted him. I said, hey, man, they're ripping you off over here in Tokyo.
It was business or pleasure?
Both. It was a corporate event that I went to that I do each year, and it's in a different part of the world.
I'll be damned.
It's I say it was business, but there wasn't a lot of business going on.
Is it expensive?
No, actually, Japan's very cheap right now.
I'll be damned. Really?
Yeah. The exchange rate's nuts in our like. I ate really great dinners for $45.
No way, really?
I kid you not.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll get to hear about that some other time, and I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Scott Brown here, 37 plus years with Edgewater Family Wealth as a fiduciary / portfolio manager, a number of other things as well. And when he comes in, we talk about ways that you can take the money you have, or maybe even don't have now, and turn that into some money that you can lean on later in your life. Let's start with our very first question.
Yeah.
People like complexity because it gives them an out. It's an excuse not to act. In other words, is this almost like that Bitcoin thing in a sense that people they don't know how it works, so they won't jump in? Is it like that with the finance world where I don't understand the idea of the money market, so I don't get invested and I'm too scared? Or is it something different than that?
No, I think that's part of it. And in fact, I would argue even Bitcoin may even be the opposite, where it's simple, right? I buy Bitcoin and it goes up. That's if you talk to anybody about Bitcoin, that's the explanation you get. Well, explain to me why you bought Bitcoin. Well, you buy it, you see, and then some things occur, and then some other stuff happens, and then it goes up.
Then I have a Lambo.
And then, yeah, exactly. Then I'm on the TikTok, and everybody thinks I'm cool. So, but things that when people make things complex, they do it to avoid the hard work, right? Because I don't care if you're investing, I don't care what you're doing, building a house, whatever endeavor you're participating in. If it's easy, it's not likely to work, right?
Yeah.
So what people do is they say, well, I would save, but now I got to figure out what to save in. And when I figure out what to save in, if I decide between a mutual fund or an ETF or a stock or whatever, then I got to do some research on it. And then I got to call some people. And then I got to read some magazines. And then I got to subscribe to Barron's and the Wall Street Journal and check with my cousin. And all of these things that people say they got to do, they have these layers of complexity.
Right, yeah.
Rather than just saving.
Right.
So you spend 2 years researching a mutual fund or a stock or an ETF. Meanwhile, you could have had 10 grand in a savings account.
Right.
People, they put these obstacles in their own way because I would do it, Jim. I would do this. But I gotta research. I gotta read. I gotta do some YouTubes. And these are really all just excuses to keep from doing what you need to do.
And in the meantime, the time that they've been reading and researching, their money could have been making money in a market doing something for 3, 4, 5 months while they kind of piddled around trying to find out what they thought was right.
I see it in 401ks all the time. I do, as I've said many times on the show, I do a lot of public speaking. I speak to large groups who have 401k participants, and sometimes there'll be 200-300 people, but there's always somebody mad about the plan. They're mad. They're looking at me. They're angry. They got their arms crossed, and they're like, "Well, there's no good funds in here, and the fees are too high, and the returns suck, and on and on and on and on." And I look, and the person's got $3 grand in the account, and they're 58 years old. Well, they're not. The truth of the matter is you haven't saved.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the best fund in the world and you earn 30% a year. If you got $3 grand and you're 58. Complexity is not your problem. Saving is clearly your problem.
Yeah. Wow, man. Do you get a lot of that?
I get a lot of that. You see it. I can see it, almost see it in their face. Like they're angry, they're frustrated, and I get it, but they're angry about the wrong thing. And then deep in their hearts, they know it's not that it's a bad fund or too many fees or whatever they saw on Jim Cramer's nightly report. What it is they didn't save. And you got no beef with me in terms of performance or cost if you don't have any money saved.
Right.
You can't complain about something that it doesn't exist.
Now, I know that you usually deal with money after the fact, and people come to you with their money.
True.
But, I mean, do you coach people into like saving ideas? Like, I mean, because if like somebody out there making enough money where they can save a couple bucks a month, I mean, are there tricks of the trade that you tell people, like, this is how you can kind of get this money away from you so you don't spend it? Because, a lot of people would put it in a savings account or a bond that you can't get it out.
Yeah.
And that's how they kind of discipline themselves. Some people don't have that because they're afraid of that big, that life happening where they may need liquid and need access to that cash. Do you coach people?
100%. I'm happy to do. I mean, those aren't not typically our clients, but I talk to people about this all the time, especially in our plans where we're managing a 401k or a 403b or whatever it is. Is that you do kind of got to trick you got to put yourself in a position for success, right? We talked about this last week. I talked about you create a situation where you can't take risk because you don't have any savings.
Right. Yeah.
If you have $100 in your savings account, well, no, you shouldn't be speculating on the stock of the week or whatever, because if you mess that up with the only $100 you got and the radiator goes out in the car, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're
right.
screwed.
But if you've saved maybe 3 months or 4 months worth of savings where no matter what happens, the AC goes out, the roof blows off, whatever, that you're okay, that gives you license. That gives you the freedom to now start engaging in what we'll call the risk markets, securities markets, stocks, bonds, whatever it is. But again, if you haven't developed the discipline because you've overcomplicated the situation, you get the cart in front of the horse, right? Sometimes a person will come into $5,000 or $10,000 and they're like, I want to buy, what 7 stocks should I buy? I'm like, you should buy no stocks. You should put that money in your savings account and then going forward, maybe participate in your 401k and do things like that.
So what I would say, I mean, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, with a 401k, because not everybody out there has access to a 401k.
Fair.
We hear that a lot, right?
Yep.
Maybe you're working construction, maybe you're out there somewhere and you're with a company and it's a small company, mom and pop, you're doing great work, you make an okay living, but there is no savings program. There are IRA Roths that do that, but I've told people, I told my kids this, make the deduction from your check, like make them do it automatically and put it in an account, maybe even a high yield savings account just to start with. There are accounts out there offering 4.5%, and you don't have to search for them. And this is not hard stuff. Just find the savings account, have your money, deposit $20, $40, whatever you can afford, put it right into a high yield savings account, and forget that it's there. Really, that's what you have to do. You have to act like it's not even accessible.
Well, and I did that to myself when I first started. I wasn't the most responsible person. Even when my first few years in this business, I was a bit of a spendthrift. My wife was the one that kept me in check, but I just said, look, I want you to take, I remember it like it was yesterday. I want you to take $90 a month. We're talking 35 years ago, and I want you to put it in this mutual fund.
That's $6.1 million a month now, though.
Yes. On a bad month.
Yeah.
But take $90 a month, and I remember distinctly, like a year and a half later, I had forgotten about it. And I got a statement. I was busy living life, whatever, and I looked up. I got $2,500 saved,
right.
And I actually had forgot it existed. But what that taught me was it does need to be kind of an ingrained or a design discipline. And for a lot of people, if you say write me a check every month, they're not going to do that. But if you suck it out of their out of their account before they see it,
right.
Yeah, you find yourself 10, 15, 20 years later with $1 million you didn't even think you could accumulate. And that's when we see people. We see them after the accumulation. But I do spend a lot of time trying to coach young people on how to become one of our clients.
Exactly, and that's what you should do. I mean, it's a culture of saving that you have to kind of get yourself into and just act like the money doesn't even belong to you. And the next thing you know, you have a nice little nest egg where you can make some kind of move. I mean, it's that simple.
Well, and it's important once you get there because the other thing that happens to people for example, in a 401k is they panic. You see a 401k like 08, right? If you had $100,000 in your 401k and suddenly it was $70,000, you're like, this is it. It's the end of the world. I got to get my money out and put it in a money market, which is the worst possible thing you could do at that moment. Yeah. People who did that in 08, many of them are still not back in the investments, and the market's gone up threefold since that point. So I think you have to, first of all, have the discipline to accumulate the money, which I know goes without saying, and you have to have the discipline to wade through market down. So I read something interesting today that Warren Buffett has had 3 years in his career where he lost 50% of his investment value, meaning Berkshire dropped by 50%, or the precursor to Berkshire dropped 50% in 3 different years. Now, if Warren Buffett could lose billions and billions of of dollars and wade through it and get to the other side, I think if your account dips by 20 or 30%, you're going to be okay as well.
Yeah, for sure. Here with Scott Brown, Edgewater Family Wealth, 37 plus years in Orlando, helping people manage their money and make a little bit more out of it. Let's get to our second question. You say here the most wealth you've ever seen accumulated solely through the stock market is folks who bought and inherited old, boring companies, blue chippers, right? IBM and the such.
Yeah, Coke, whatever it is.
Right.
Now, those names will change. You know, most of my clients that come to us with their, $500,000, $1 million, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, they've accumulated money either in a 401k or they've done it through selling a business or they've been an entrepreneur of some kind. But occasionally someone will walk in and they'll have $3, $4, $5 million in a brokerage account. And what I'll see for those people, maybe somebody in their 60s or 70s or maybe in their 50s who inherited an account, is I'll see Coke. I see this all the time. I'll see Coke. I'll see Exxon. I'll see 3M. I'll see Procter and Gamble.
Yeah, like maybe Delta.
Right. They've had these, but they've had these stocks for like 40 years.
Right.
And they've not interrupted the compounding. Right. So today those names may change. But the idea is that if you bought PayPal or Microsoft or Apple or Nvidia, maybe, although I'm not sure how excited I am about that one, but if you bought some big blue chip company that you think in 30 years Apple's going to go 5x or 6x, and it probably will. Right? And you have the discipline to let that happen, you're going to be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams.
Yeah, I told my wife, I think I told you this before, in 2005 when we got married, had we just taken 10 grand of the money we got, as we got married and put it into Apple, it would be worth $3.2 million right now. And that was just, 19 years ago.
And the problem is people interrupt the compounding because they try to outsmart themselves.
Yeah.
And if you own I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it 1,000,001, you're not buying a stock. You're buying a company, right? And if you believe Apple's going to be around in 30 years and prosper, which there's no reason not to believe that, then that's something you should probably own and hold on to for the long term. So people get in their own way repeatedly. Charlie Munger was fond of saying most people aren't wired for this. It's why I have a job. My job is not to pick better stocks than you. It's to keep you from doing stupid stuff when you buy stocks. Right. And that's ultimately what you need to recognize is the people who are disciplined and have a process and stick to their guns are the ones who end up with the money.
It says here you've never seen a single person trade their way to wealth. That was actually the most surprising thing. When I saw this, I said, that sounds insane that you have never seen anybody just because we hear about this all the time on social media. I bought this, I flipped it in 2 years and I made, X amount of dollars or whatever. And it seems to be very prevalent online if you see people who are talking about it. But in 37 years, you've never seen one.
Never met one. I've met tons of people who have built businesses over long periods of time and sold them. I've met plenty of people who have accumulated literally millions of dollars in 401ks. In 38 years, I have never met one person who walked through my door and said, yeah, I spent the last, 8 weeks, 8 years, whatever it was, trading, and I built up. I started with $100, and now I got 10 million. That's never, ever. I'm not saying it's never happened, but it's never happened that I've seen. Right, so I'm playing the probabilities. I know if you save in a 401k, there's a high probability if you're diligent and stick to it that you're going to have millions of dollars if you do it right. I think if you build a business and you sell your plumbing business, your electrical business, whatever it is, I think there's a good chance you'll be successful.
Yeah.
You are not going to go on Robinhood and flip stocks all day
you're telling
from
me
your mother's basement while you're drinking Mountain Dew and trade your way to wealth. It's not going to happen.
One screen you have some video game.
Yep.
And the other screen you have your stock trades.
Listen, if you're sitting on your phone and you're flipping between FanDuel and Robinhood, it is not. It's the same thing. It's not going to work.
Oh, I got to get my World Series.
Stop it. Yeah, if you're betting on the Yankees, you're definitely not going to come out
okay.
Now's the
time, Jack. Now's the time. Double down.
I know. I think.
Got a question from the texting service. Says, I have a question for Scott. If I have old stocks in a 401k that I know are in my name, but I don't know how to access them, how do I access old stocks in a 401k that they don't? That he says that I know were in my name, but I don't know how to access them. I don't even know what that question is.
Well, that could mean one of two things: is you just don't know. Like if you're getting a statement, if you're just randomly saying or vaguely saying I know it exists, that's going to be tough. But if you say I have a statement, but I don't know what to do with the statement or how to access the money, there should be a number on that statement for you to call, whether it's John Hancock or Metropolitan Life or whoever it is.
Right.
If it's money that's kind of disappeared that you forgot about, the state actually keeps track of those things, and you have a certain amount of time to figure out where it is. But you can reach out to the state of Florida. They actually keep when someone loses track of an account, they push it off to the state.
Jack, isn't that the thing where is it treasurehunt.gov that we do that thing where you can go to the state and find out some of those old things that you have money? They're possibly old brokerage accounts and stuff of that nature?
Yeah, it's when they get control of it. So
I see.
Like my daughter had an old paycheck there from a job that she left, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It takes a couple years for them to get control of it.
Yeah. Scott, also, I did want to ask, it's funny, I'm not asking you to endorse somebody that may be a quote-unquote competitor. I don't even know if you consider them.
Yeah.
But a lot of TV guys, you mentioned Jim Cramer earlier. He's the crazy guy that you see on, I think it's MSNBC or whatever.
CNBC.
Yep. And he does the whole thing. And this is being at the baseball bat. And then Dave Ramsey. And I've heard people use Dave Ramsey's ideas to kind of button their finances up. When you see people like that, is that stuff that you should pay attention to, or should you use that as a jumping point, as an interest? Like, I heard Dave Ramsey say something. Maybe I should go invest, or maybe I should just take a peek at that, or maybe do a little research.
Well, I'm a Dave Ramsey fan.
Okay, good.
I think Dave Ramsey does a tremendous job of helping the beginner, right? If you're in debt, if you're trying to figure out how to save, how do you go about doing that?
Right.
It's daunting to a lot of people, and he simplifies it. So I think for the average person just getting started, I think Dave Ramsey does a wonderful, wonderful job and a wonderful service, and he's made himself a lot of money doing that.
He's Dave
good for Dave Ramsey.
He's selling a lot of books out there.
He's selling a lot of books. But the next level of stuff is kind of what we do.
Right.
Like when you do have wealth, when you have $500,000 or more, that's kind of where we step in.
Yeah, sure.
And we add value there. So, but no, absolutely a fan of Dave Ramsey. Kramer, on the other hand, is just entertainment as far as I'm concerned. He's a very smart guy. Don't get me wrong. The guy's brilliant.
But he's trying to pick the market, and that's impossible.
Well, he's encouraging people, I think, to do something they're not capable of doing. And when you're honking horns and swinging baseball bats, that makes me a little cynical of what you're doing.
That's not what you're...
suspect.
It's not the morning zoo.
You mean you don't want your fiduciary in a bozo hat?
I prefer not. But don't get me wrong. Jim Cramer's a very smart guy, and I will occasionally watch him and listen. He does do a cool thing where he interviews CEOs sometimes at night. And I think that's if you own Coke or Procter & Gamble or Microsoft and you want to hear the CEO speak, he does a wonderful job of that. So they both have value.
Yeah.
You just have to be reasonable about how you're filtering those
When you're
things.
talking to a CEO, he runs a multitude of companies worth, with market values in the multiple billions.
Yes.
What do you glean from that you could use on a daily basis quickly?
Well, I think when you're listening to, if I owned Microsoft and I saw the Microsoft CEO talking about new products, talking about initiatives, and he sounded reasonable and he sounded dignified and he sounded responsible, that would give me, a little solace to say some confidence in the stock. So, yeah, I mean, again, take in information. Be curious. It's not saying you should trade because Kramer's honking a horn and swinging a bat, but you should listen to the information being provided to you.
I disagree. I think that's the only reason you should use him.
That's probably fair.
How can we get your books and stuff, buddy? How can we find you?
You can find me at edgewaterfamilywealth.com. We do consults. I think there's a drop-down screen if you want to do a quick consult. We consult with people all the time who will never be our clients and a few who occasionally fit our profile. So, again, edgewaterfamilywealth.com. You can download my book, I Got a Guy, which teaches you how to use a financial advisor, what you should ask a financial advisor, and, of course, my book, the greatest bestseller of all time, I Never Made Anybody Rich, which is Scott's weird way of explaining how investments work.
Very good, buddy. It's always good seeing you. Good and loud for everybody, Scott Brown.
Yay! Woo-hoo!
Very nice, man. And I know that next year we'll tee those sessions back up. We're all full for this year.
We are all
done.
full, but starting in January.
Yeah, but don't forget, you can call the office and get a consult, and you can also download those books. They're gratefully helpful, and we always love seeing you, man.
Likewise.
You got it,
Good
buddy.
to see everybody.
You too.
407-916-1041. Load them up, guys. Trivia is next.
What?
We have a prize. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Batteries Plus.
Commanders stunned the Bears with an incredible walk-off Hail Mary from quarterback Jaden Daniels, but the truth is, Chicago didn't deserve to win this game. Poorly coached, terrible play calling near the goal line. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams are both superstars in the making, but I don't trust this Bears staff to give Caleb the support he'll eventually need. I'm Colin Cowherd.
At Batteries Plus, you'll find trusted, dependable, fully charged batteries for your car or truck. Plus, free battery testing and expert installation, too. Life's waiting, and you have places to be. Power on with Batteries Plus. Over 700 locations nationwide.
Guys, let me tell you something. If you have an AC problem, Mills Air is where you need to go. These guys are awesome. Been doing it in town for, let's say, 30-plus years, since 92, and they know these systems inside and out. Matter of fact, when you call Mills Air over, you don't have to tell them what kind of AC you have. These guys know them, and they know how to repair them, and they're good people as well, and their techs service all the brands, and even better, they're Carrier factory authorized dealers, and that means you can get up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Guys, no job is too big or too small. They have integrity like you could ever imagine, and they're ready to help you right now with their preventive maintenance program. Just give them a call and schedule your appointment. It's 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Navy Federal Credit Union is back with more eligibility. Now you can hear all your favorites like, my brother's a veteran, I get amazing rates. My mom served, I get 24/7 member support. Grandpa was a soldier and now I'm a member. And who could forget? Thanks to my father who served in the military, I'm now eligible for incredible member benefits. Call 1-855-800-2102 or visit NavyFederal.org today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Spooky hits, commercial free. That's Halloween Radio on the free iHeart app. This spooky station is filled with non-stop Halloween hits. Open the free iHeart app, search Halloween Radio, and listen now. Free never sounded so good.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman for the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. I get a lot of feedback concerning the commercials I do on autism awareness. I don't do this to make my son famous or to make people feel sad for me. It's to spread awareness for parents out there who are in my situation. Please don't think your duties end when you end. These children are going to live a lot longer than we are. Be prepared. Contact us at whenunits.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Offices, Orlando.
My daughter Natalie was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma.
We thought we were losing our daughter. And then when we came to St. Jude, everything changed.
We just did the best treatment for Natalie.
It's the donors who have already taken on that burden on their backs and said, all right, we've got this.
Hope changes everything. It's what's kept us going.
You can help kids fight childhood cancer. Please become a St. Jude Partner in Hope today by texting SHIRT to 785-833.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Don't be scared. It's Halloween season, and the free iHeartRadio app has everything you need to make it a scream.
Commercial-free Halloween radio.
Custom playlists like the original Halloween playlist outside. And spooky podcasts like Nocturno with Danny Trejo.
Welcome to Nocturno.
Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Halloween, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Now back to the Jim Colbert Show.
Ba-boom, ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-boom. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I'm Jim, there's Deb.
Hello.
Jack has the Jackie Sack. Too quick
Ladies
for you there,
and
buddy?
gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo-choo. Lickety-clack, lickety-clack.
Here we go. We have a choice of prizes in the Jackie Sack today. Either you can choose a pair of tickets to see Whitney Cummings.
Yay.
She's a comedian.
She is.
It's on her Big Baby Tour coming to Orlando. One night only.
She's a cutie, too, by the way.
At the Hard Rock Live Orlando. Easy on the eyes is what Jimmy's trying to say.
Yeah.
Hard Rock Live Orlando, Friday, November 15th. That's this year. That's like in a couple weeks.
Yeah, just a couple weeks.
Oh, wow.
Tickets are on sale now. That's Whitney Cummings at the Hard Rock Orlando. Or the other option in the Jackie Sack, a pair of tickets to the Orlando Pride quarterfinal game. Woohoo! This is happening Friday, November 8th. That's a week from this Friday at 8 p.m. at Inter & Coast Stadium. That's right here in Orlando. This is brought to you by WG Sports Center. That's all about indoor soccer. Find them at WG Sports Center. But the Orlando Pride, their playoff match here at Inter & Coast Stadium, those are your choices in the Jackie Sack, which is brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Call them if you've got to move. They can handle it. Doesn't matter. It could be local. It could be long distance. It could be residential. Heck, it could even be commercial.
Don't say it.
Just make sure you mention the Jim Colbert Show, because that bad boy is going to get you a discount. I almost called you a bald boy.
Thank you.
Book them today at centomoving.com. That's C-E-N-T-O. Moving.com. Clickety-clack, bald guy, back to you.
Thank you, Deborah.
Shoot.
Jack, who's first today?
Barrett.
Barrett right there at the bottom.
Whoa.
Barrett, how you doing?
Oh, it's a beautiful kind of day.
I love it.
Go Yankees.
Go
Yeah,
Yankees.
Hey.
Barrett, would you like to play a little game with us?
Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed.
Game show.
I'm now rooting for Barrett.
All right. All right, Barrett. This is a very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers, Barrett, it is a lie.
No.
Spent all day making this up. Not all day, actually. But I did make it up. And if you can find it, buddy, I'll send you over to the Jackie Sack, and you, my friend, can choose something cool to go check out. Are you ready? Here we go, buddy. On this day in 1929. On this day, the Great Depression started.
Oh, great.
The stock market crashed, causing the beginning of the Great Depression happened on this day in 1939.
That's right, October 29th.
Here are 3 fun facts about the Great Depression and 1 high inflation lie.
3 fun.
Yeah, 3 fun facts about depression. Here we go, buddy. Number 1, during the Great Depression, miniature golf was wildly popular for families as an inexpensive entertainment. Number 2, between 1930 and 1935, 350,000 American farms were lost through bankruptcy or sheriff auction. Number 3, during the Great Depression, people sold apples to avoid begging. At one point, there were 6,000 apple vendors in New York. Or lastly, about 1.5 million women were abandoned by their husbands during the Great Depression. Which of those is a lie?
I only read the Cliff Notes of Grapes of Wrath. So I'm going to say 1, miniature golf.
No, that's absolutely true.
Oh, Barrett,
and by the way, Barrett,
sorry.
I know you're a baller here, Barrett. How many miniature golf courses do you think were built in just a 6-year period during the Great Depression?
5,000.
30,000.
Whoa.
30,000 miniature golf courses were built during the Great Depression. It was one of the only ways a family could affordably entertain themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, along with board games and other things like that. Who's next?
Terry.
Terry is right there on line 3. Terry, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. We're talking about the Great Depression today. Which one of these is untrue? Number one, between 1930 and 1935, 350,000 American farms were lost through bankruptcy or sheriff auction. Number two, during the Great Depression, people sold apples to avoid begging. At one point, there were about 6,000 apple vendors in New York. Or lastly, about 1.5 million women were abandoned by their husbands during the Great Depression.
I want to go with number one.
Number one is the answer. You're a winner.
Yay!
Now, let me ask you the scary question. Do you believe that 350,000 is the exact amount? I mean, or is low or high?
I think that's probably low.
750,000 American farms were lost to auction or bankruptcy during the Great Depression. I'm going to put you on hold. Terry, you are a winner.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for calling and playing. We appreciate that very much.
Wow, that's a sad fact.
750,000 American farms.
And that also means that last fact about, what is it, 1.5 million women abandoned?
1.5 million women had their husbands leave one day and never come back.
You also had some pretty sad photos of mothers selling their children.
Yeah. There's a bunch of crazy stuff. But I'm going to give you a stat here that is even nuts. I did not know this. I mean, I knew some stuff about the Depression because you have to do that while you're in college and school. You got to learn about it a little bit.
They make you learn.
Yeah, these sons of bitches.
Even in Palatka.
All right, so here's some other stuff before we get to the top of the hour. The stock market crashed from 381 points to 42 points. That's what happened on this date, right? It took 23 years for the market to return to 381 again.
Whoa.
23 years to gain to get back to 381, starting at 42 points. That's how devastating. It lost a market equivalent in today's money to $380 billion in one day.
Wow.
The Great Depression affected most of the country, but did you know this? This is the stat I couldn't believe. When you see photographs of times of the Great Depression, what do we see? Abject poverty, soup lines, bread lines, like Deb said, people trying to sell their children because they can't afford them, putting them in the foster homes so the government could run them, right? It really only affected about 60% of the country. 40% of the population never even knew about any of that stuff.
Really?
It never affected them at all.
Wow.
But if you look at the photographs and read the stories, you'd assume that every American suffered. That's not the case. There were some people that were insulated.
Well, and didn't the Great Depression happen right around the same time as the Dust Bowl?
Yeah, it was during the Dust Bowl. Matter of fact, that's why he referenced Steinbeck. John Steinbeck, the great American literature giant, wrote Grapes of Wrath and Mice of Men during the Great Depression.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when you got to see what really made.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can you name the two massive construction projects that happened during the Great Depression, solely created to create jobs for people who could not have them? One you have to know, Jack.
The jobs that you...
No, the two gigantic building projects that happened during the Great Depression.
Hoover
Dam.
And? 33, Empire State Building?
That's it, baby dog.
Yeah.
Good job, dude. That's very good. Yeah, the Hoover Dam and the Empire State Building were both built during the Great Depression, supplying men with jobs that were greatly needed. And of course, well, during the dam, for sure, it was subsidized by the government as well. And like I said, writer John Steinbeck wrote The Grapes of Wrath and Mice of Men during the Great Depression.
Wow.
Amazing stuff. By the way, if you ever want to read, if you ever thought that times are bad, right? If you ever get to that point where you get on social media and you start watching stuff, man, it sucks. Go read just any small 500-word essay synopsis. It is a synopsis of the Great Depression. You will realize just how perfectly you have it.
Hey, the lights come on and water comes out of the tap.
Right.
You're doing fine.
It is scary AF.
No. I'm watching it on the news every night where the country's going downhill. We're in a toilet right now.
Not even close to this.
Garbage can.
Not even close to that stuff.
Not eating dandelion soup, that's for sure.
Yeah, they were. They played board games incessantly because there was really nothing to do. But actually, the movie business.
I was going to say that's when movies thrived because that was the ultimate escape.
That really was, and that's when Wizard of Oz and movies like that came out. I believe Gone with the Wind came out in that same time, 39, right? Yeah. So those movies came out. You're right. That offered a perfect escape and really did jumpstart the American cinema movement.
Miniature golf, though, that was a new one.
That's a crazy one.
I had never would have thought that's
30,000 miniature golf courses all throughout the areas that were affected the most by the Great Depression, just so people could come up there and do something for themselves and their families for a nickel or something like that.
Unbelievable.
All right, 407-916-1041. Got a freshie coming up.
Freshie.
Let me see. I got something else to talk about too. Hold on one second. Let me properly tease this. Let me see.
By the way, if you're looking to see the Tampa Bay Bucks take on the 49ers, we just posted a link on our Instagram at Real Radio 1041. You can enter there to win tickets.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you guys think you have an idea of how much it costs to maintain schools?
No.
Did you guys know that?
No, not even a concept.
Did you guys know that Orange and Marion County are currently asking voters for a 0.5-cent sales tax increase for school maintenance? I'm gonna do a shorty on this, but I also have some other fun stuff. How about this, right? You go to the grocery store in America, right? Specifically here at Publix. I'll just do that one here. And they have that international foods aisle, right?
Right.
And that's where you can go and you can say, well, that's all the cool stuff from from England,
and your soy sauce.
And then you go
fish sauce.
Right, and your Mexican place.
Your sriracha.
Did you guys know that grocery stores in other countries have that for America? They do. They have an American section of their grocery stores.
Wonder what's in it.
So when we get back, there is one item that when you look at this, from Poland to Colombia, it doesn't matter. There's one item that it's in about 80% of these spaces. And I'll tell you what that is when we get back.
Cheerios.
Why follow Real Radio on Instagram? Because we want to send you to see the Tampa Bay Bucks in an upcoming home game. Each week this NFL season, you have a chance to win tickets. Check our feed at Real Radio 1041 on Instagram.
Heavy traffic continues this afternoon on I-4 in the Orlando area for those traveling east and westbound through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Looking at heavy delays on Florida's Turnpike between the Greenway exit and 192. No major problems to report right now for those taking the Beach Line or the Greenway. If you run into traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Norton 360.
Outsmart cyber criminals this October with Norton 360. For Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Norton 360 offers a software updater feature to reduce vulnerabilities. Get comprehensive protection and up to 58% off your first year at norton.com/secure.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty, and I am so excited to let you know that my latest podcast interview is with the one and only Tom Hanks.
I have left many wonderful atmosphere or a loving atmosphere without thinking, oh, things were really wonderful back then. I wish I was back there. Jay, I don't think I've ever thought that.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search On Purpose.
Jim Colbert here for FAS Windows and Doors. Are your energy costs through the roof? Well, it's time to replace your single-pane aluminum windows with the most energy-efficient option available. Keep the heat outside during the summer and inside during the winter. Too much outside noise getting in? Considering replacing older windows and doors with laminated insulated glass, providing as much as 100% improvement. Keep that noise outside where it belongs. Offering rebates of $100 per window and $200 per door. Also offering 24-month, no money down, no payment, no interest financing. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS or visit them online. Trust the leader, FAS.com.
I'm sitting here with Jeff Jr. of Trajan Wealth. Jeff, I'm concerned because we're in an election year, right? Which, sure to shake things up and all that. But last year was a great year in the market, and it's just not looking so good this year.
Well, yeah, the market is cyclical, and that's why it's a perfect time to diversify and lock in some of those gains. You may even qualify for an upfront bonus of up to 30% just for opening an account and up to 12% guaranteed growth for your retirement income.
Up to 30% for just opening an account and up to 12% per year? All guaranteed?
Yeah, and you probably won't hear many other advisors talking about this because they don't have access. I will say it's because of the high interest rate climate we're in, and this probably won't last long.
If you're concerned about what this messy election could do to your finances, call Trajan Wealth today and learn how to get up to 30% bonus and up to 12% growth per year for retirement income. Call 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states says Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Paid advertisement.
Get your lawn ready for fall with help from Tools Ace Hardware and Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Stop by one of Tools' 11 steel locations with service and repair centers for a tune-up on your equipment. Or take advantage of fall savings on blowers, trimmers, and more. Right now, save $50 on the gas-powered MS250 chainsaw or the battery-powered BGA 57 handheld blower. At Tools, we service what we sell, which means you can bring in your Steel Outdoor Power Equipment equipment to one of our 11 locations for any repairs or warranty issues. Tools is here to help with 13 locations in Central Florida. Visit toolsacehardware.com to find a location near you. Tools Ace Hardware, your local helpful place.
For over 40 years, Solar Source has stood by Orlando and Tampa. We've weathered storms together. Our emergency service department is here, ready to help you rebuild. Call 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Explore battery backup systems to protect your family. Don't wait. Call Solar Source at 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Solar Source, we're with you every step of the way.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
I'm Rebecca. I was injured in a car accident and hired one of the big TV law firms. They sent me to an injury clinic that I felt just wanted to make money off me. I needed an attorney and doctors who cared about me. I called attorney Glenn Klausman, and he helped me get the best doctors who really helped me. I was extremely pleased with my settlement. He also got me $10,000 for vet bills for my dog that was injured in the accident, and he did that for free. Call attorney Glenn Klausman at 407-917-1718. That's 407-917-1718. Glenn Klausman, Office, Winter Park.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Good luck.
You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
I was just wondering, the movie Grapes of Wrath was done years ago. Do you think they should remake it? Just a question. Thanks.
Who was in that? Was that a Gregory Peck joint?
I think it was Henry Fonda.
Was it Fonda?
Never seen it.
Same here.
Read the book twice, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I've read that and Mice of Mice and Men. I like Steinbeck. They're easy to consume, right? Mice and Men is a great story. Lenny and very good.
I hear.
Good parable. You haven't read it?
No.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm actually, it's so funny. I'm in a bit of a renaissance, and I'm thinking about maybe consuming one of the classics.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I know.
War and Peace.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one. I mean, come on. Good God Almighty. Let's start with a little bit of light reading when it comes to the classics. I don't need a tome that's bigger than me.
The Iliad.
Yeah, they're exactly right. All right, 407
Oedipus.
916-1041. Credit, by the way, is your 6 o'clock keyword. That's C-R-E-D-I-T. Just slide over to realradio.fm and enter that, and you can win that money. Yesterday, we had a winner. Mark in Davenport took home that $1,000. It's out there. Go get it. Credit is the word that could do it. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
And Jack is here as well.
I am.
Have you guys noticed I'm trying to stop saying the phone numbers and stuff as much?
I have not noticed.
You haven't noticed that? Yeah, I haven't. I've said it about a quarter of what I usually say it. And it's hard. When you break a habit like that you've been classically conditioned to do for so long, and that was a big part of it. And for people who don't know behind the scenes, you say the phone number of the radio station because it's almost always the call letters of the station. So even though we don't take a bunch of calls anymore, that used to be a backbone of this radio station. But now with so many other ways to communicate where you don't have to wait on the phone for so long, it's easier to send a text or maybe a talkback, and you can communicate with us, which we don't have any problem with that. But that crutch of saying, it used to be the time and date for people back in the day. It's 4:14 on Real Radio 104.1 or whatever. I never got into that one because it was already cycled out by the time I got into the business.
Yeah.
But that phone number thing has always been there. So I'm trying to only cut it down to like maybe once an hour.
It's also a crutch. It helps you transition and actually gives you something you can do without thinking, so you can think about what you're going to do next.
100%. That's exactly the case. God, thanks, Jack, for pulling the curtain back.
Well, you said we were looking behind the curtain. I just showed him more curtain.
All right, so this is out of Marion County, Orange County. This is on the ballot. Voters heading to the polls for 2 Central Florida counties to decide whether or not they want to pay a half-cent sales tax to fund repairs and maintenance costs for public schools. I have to tell you, when I saw this story today, I'm like, wow, man, when politicians fail us, what do? They go right to the tax, right? Like when politicians fail and they can't negotiate, and that's part of their job, by the way, is negotiating and figuring this stuff out. What's the first thing they do when they fail? Well, I guess we'll just ask for a tax increase, because we can't make it out of the budget. We can't do what we're supposed to do, which is kind of manipulate this money so it'll work for everyone. So exactly what's happening is Marion County, 80% of the maintenance requests right now are not fixed. Think about that. 80% of Marion County schools that have a maintenance request do not get it fixed.
Think of all the AC problems we had this summer.
Now, that's just Marion County. I'm trying to get down here to see exactly where the Orange County thing is as well, because that number is also equally as gross, and I want to make sure I get it right before I say it. Let's start with Marion here. How much money do you think that Marion County needs to complete the repairs that exist right now? How much money do you think? And I'll let Jack, you go first.
There we go.
In Marion County, 80% of the maintenance requests are not fixed because the district does not have the blank money it needs to complete them.
The damn money.
Yeah, the damn money. It's a number, jackass. God, I hate you.
14 million.
Let's just say, okay, go ahead.
34 million.
$839 million.
What?
800. This is, by the way, this is Click Orlando, which is Channel 6 over there. Click Orlando. In Marion County, 80% of the maintenance requests are not fixed because the district does not have the $839 million it needs to complete them. That's Marion County. That's a pissant county compared to Orange County. I don't even know what the number is for there. It says when you have half of our facilities are 50 years old. And maintenance comes with that. And, of course, the older a facility gets, that means the technology when those things were built, whether it be the AC systems, ventilation systems, the electrical systems, the plumbing, they're all very old. 50 years is a long time.
The AC.
When you start repairing that stuff, it gets very costly. And the state of Florida, I don't know if you guys know this. I did not know this. The state of Florida does not provide funding for school maintenance. What do you think they lean on?
The lottery.
That's half of it.
Oh, yeah, that's what they told us, right?
Right. It's
property tax.
No, you ready? Landline phone taxes.
Because there's tons of those these days.
So when these schools were built, how they funded the maintenance programs is they used fees for landlines.
Yeah.
And those fees would add up. Then when the lottery came along and they kind of put that lottery scam on us and said, well, this is going to fund education, not telling us that they're going to back all the money out of education and have the lottery fully funded. So if the lottery ever falls flat, they're going to have a deficit of cash to fix these goddamn schools. And that's exactly what's happening. They're asking, and that's where they're asking the voters to come up with that half-cent sales tax.
And Orange County is really worried about it passing because that's basically what they use to cover their costs.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, they have a priority list. In other words, these are things that need to be done now. That's still $326 million. The other stuff is like dream stuff, like to build an annex, to build extra classrooms, door installation, projects to help students improve, a new classroom wing, a new cafeteria. I mean, all of that stuff. And I guess one of the investigators from Channel 6 is being shown around Howard Middle School. That used to be, I believe, Orlando High. When Orlando was growing.
Right.
Howard's downtown Orlando, one of the oldest schools in our area, I think, along with Boone. And it also is just falling apart. Ceiling paint is chipping and flaking off, all that stuff. But that's so much money. But if you want to read the entire thing, it's right there at clickorlando.com and Click Orlando Investigates. So check that out. And if you live in those counties, do you vote for that? I mean, I guess you kind of have to, don't you?
It's on the ballot in Seminole as well as to keep the half-penny sales tax that we've had.
Yeah.
Every 10 years it comes up.
So what do you do if you say no? What happens if that fails? Where do they fund that from then?
Oh, I forget. Well, I don't know if they have that plan yet.
They don't, because they don't. There is nowhere. That's the problem.
Unbelievable, man. And when you think about this, and by the way, they say this is a crisis. They use a crisis scenario.
I would say if you are saying it's almost $1 billion in repairs on the schools in Marion County alone.
326 just for the propriety stuff, Jack. 326 just to get them good again. That's not even nice. I mean, just to get them moving again. $326 million. And I got to tell you, in all my world, you could have given me 10 guesses at that. I'd have never guessed over 50 million.
No, same here.
No way. And
certainly not close to $1 billion.
And I would have been aghast if it was $50 million. And now I saw that number, $839 million. I'm like, what the? And then they give you the list of what they're going to build. And exactly like I said, you just can't imagine how much this stuff costs to build. Like they have a list here. And I mean, I'm sure our contractors, we have a ton of people who listen to the program who build stuff, right? At Ward Highlands Elementary School, they need a new classroom wing. That's $15 million. At Maplewood Elementary, they need a new classroom wing. That's $15 million. How about this? At Dunellen Middle High School, they need a new school. That's $150 million. Whoa. At Bellevue Elementary, they need new school. $65 million.
Oh, this is interesting. Someone just texted us. So North Marion High School had most windows taken out when school started with no replacements ordered. The windows are covered with plywood. People are asking if it's condemned.
No. And students are going in there to learn?
Apparently.
Get out of here. Is that true?
That's what a texter just sent in.
Insane.
And they would never lie.
Oh, yeah, stop, Deb.
I like that. Jim asks you if it's true. Like, Deb, you should know.
You're the news person. Tell me.
Put your truth meter on.
Spar Elementary.
Yep.
How much do you think a new cafeteria runs? Spar Elementary School needs a new cafeteria.
I'll stick with my original guess. $14 million.
I'm going to go 30.
30 is the exact number.
Whoa.
Hey. $30 million for $30 million for the worst people on the planet to eat food.
Middle school? Yeah.
No, it's an elementary school. Look, they're learning.
They're
learning.
So
Yeah.
They're learning how to be bad.
Matter of fact, I take all this middle school money and just throw it in the trash. They don't need it. I mean, even from just door installation, I assume as schools are upgrading their doors, maybe because of the
school shootings?
Yeah, the protocols for that thing, that's $2 million. East Marion Elementary School, door installation, $4 million. Wow. God.
Here's something else. I bought a refrigerator for a Brevard County junior high because it broke, and they need the refrigerator for diabetes for children to keep their medicine cold.
Wow.
$600.
Yeah. $600. And look, here's the thing. You mean, when you talk about government contracts, sometimes, I'm not saying that all construction companies do this, but if you know the money's solid, they get I think they have to get 3 bids. I think it's a minimum with any government facility. They have to get 3 bids.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. So they must have just basically factored those in, and that's the number. Like the average number of the 3 bids is like 15 or 30 or 6 or whatever it is. Hell, once you're talking $840 million, just throw out any number. It doesn't matter.
But this is where it's frustrating when you hear the governor talk about there being such a budget surplus, he doesn't know how to spend the money.
Yeah, right. How crazy is that? Fund it, dude. Fund it. All right, 407.
There's needs.
916-1041. All right, let's take a little break. We'll come back and I'll pay off that story about the grocery stores. You are going to die on this one. This is a really interesting, fun story. We'll do that next.
It's got to be Pop-Tarts.
What's more exciting than a brand new iPhone with a dozen cameras?
How about Real Radio on your iPhone?
Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1.
Heavy traffic continues this afternoon on I-4 in the Orlando area for those traveling east and westbound through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Looking at heavy delays on Florida's Turnpike between the Greenway exit and 192. No major problems to report right now for those taking the Beach Line or the Greenway. If you run into traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by MD Now. Coming down with something and don't know what it is? Know now at MD Now. Their physician-led team can test for, diagnose, and treat a variety of illnesses. Just walk in or use their convenient web check-in. Visit mdnow.com and get back to better.
Hey guys, Tools Ace Hardware has been helping Central Florida during hurricane season for over 40 years. Hell, they'll sell you plywood to board up your school's windows. If you need, they have everything you need to prepare your home before the storm hits, and of course supplies for recovering where we are now after the storm passes. Propane tanks refilled, they can do it. Purchase batteries, flashlights, sandbags, gas cans, and a new roof. We call it a tarp. You can get that there as well, fasteners. But you can also get generators, Yeti coolers, and grills to help in case you lose power or still don't have power. They have 11 steel service centers for chainsaws, saw chains, and repairs. My weed eater is at one right now. It's Tools Ace, right here to help with 13 locations in Central Florida. Visit toolsacehardware.com to find a location nearest you. It's Tools Ace Hardware, your local helpful place.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trendley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trendley Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Now that the winds have died down after being battered by Hurricane Milton a few weeks ago, it really makes you appreciate windows and doors that can keep that severe weather out. The wonderful team over at Renewal by Andersen are seeing firsthand the incredible performance of Renewal by Andersen windows and doors in the face of the storms that recently hit Central Florida. They're having hundreds of clients reach out to share their experiences. For example, they're hearing people say how they couldn't have made it through the storm without their strong windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen, and how their kids felt so safe because the windows provided such an amazing sound barrier. Well, that's because Renewal by Andersen's windows and doors combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather. And you know that impact resistance adds a layer of safety for you and your family, especially during hurricane season, and even more so if you live on Florida's coast. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to see all the beautiful design and hardware options available. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
For over 40 years, Solar Source has stood by Orlando and Tampa. We've weathered storms together. Our emergency service department is here, ready to help you rebuild. Call 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Explore battery backup systems to protect your family. Don't wait. Call Solar Source at 1-800-329-1301 or visit solarsource.com. Solar Source, we're with you every step of the way.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman for the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. 816. That's how many times you hear my voice a month on the station telling you should hire my law firm. Now that seems like a big number, but it doesn't compare to the other 50,000 commercials you hear. So hopefully I'm less irritating than the rest of us. Be well. Contact us at whenunits.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
Hey, welcome to Total Wireless. How can I help you?
Oh, my phone is panicking. It thinks I'm trading it in.
No worries. At Total Wireless, you get 50% off the Total 5G Unlimited plan when you keep your phone.
Really? 50% off and I get to keep my phone? Wow.
Yep, that's as low as $25 per month for one line when you sign up for AutoPay.
Visit your Total Wireless store today. Restrictions apply. Compatible device required. Available exclusively online and in Total Wireless retail stores.
Car accidents can be scary, but dealing with the insurance company can be even scarier. This Halloween, don't get tricked. Just call Mo. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Orlando's attorneys.
I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. We're going to highlight players, and we're just going to sit here and talk about them. And we'll get into the types of dudes. Is Randy Moss a stud or a freak? Is Tom Brady a dog or a dude's dude?
We're going to find out, Jules. New episodes drop every Thursday during the NFL season.
Listen to Dudes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dudes on Dudes to start listening.
Trust the leaders at FAS Windows and Doors. Go to FASWD.com. Radio 104.1.
Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Hey guys, Marion County voter here that always votes for taxes to help out the schools. Now I'm kind of honked off. It's not like these things just come up out of nowhere. We already fund the government. Why aren't they paying these things and allocating budget aside? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. I just peed myself off. All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Did you pee off or honk off? I like the first
Think of it this way. Orange County Public Schools was not expecting a hurricane to hit those schools 2 years ago and cause as much damage as they did. Those are unexpected debts that they were trying to pay and didn't have anything set aside. So it's kind of difficult. We also grew really, really fast. And too fast. For this.
Hey, Maine 420 here. I'm just hearing about the schools and everything.
May
I
420.
know I'm not from Florida, but I've been listening to your station long enough to get an idea of what it's like down there a little bit. All the tourist tax dollars, instead of that putting towards the convention center, why doesn't the governor put it towards the schools? Oh, wait a minute. That makes sense. Nothing down there from what I hear makes sense. No offense, guys. I love you.
We love you, 420.
Yeah, we love you, 420 Maine.
And that's not a governor thing. That's an Orange County thing.
Yeah.
Orange County can do that, but, you know.
Yeah, it says here, the state made it even more expensive for any building project this past edition of the Florida Building Code by basically putting 98% of the state as hurricane impact zones, which basically doubles materials pricing. And man, let me tell you something. We had a nerve with this because we have been inundated with texts from people who said their kids have to share chairs. Like they signed up for a dance class that's provided by the school, and there's nowhere for them to dance. 60 to 70 people in classrooms, kids in classrooms at Howard Middle, because all of them don't have AC. Now, we know that at the beginning of the school year, Deb reported this, that 2 weeks before the school was supposed to start, Howard Middle School was tripping balls because they didn't have those classes ready to go, and they were going through a rebuild there, and they weren't ready to go. And then, of course, I think they buttoned it up right before school started.
Literally the day before, they're like, yeah, we're good.
But actually, the photographs that story uses internally are from Howard Middle, where you can see the paint openly peeling in those areas. And man, like I said, we are being inundated with people who are freaking out about this whole idea. When they hear that number, it's amazing. It says, my daughter was sitting on another chair, sharing chairs because there's nowhere else for them to sit.
Also think that so many of these schools, it makes sense about the hurricane strike zone, right? Many of these schools serve as shelters.
Yes.
So they do have to not only be, able to withstand the weather, but then they've got to be able to have, act as a home away from home for people who have been, forced out of their place because of the weather.
And look, let me tell you, when I hear that, like that young lady said, and this is nothing against her, but when I hear those things, they sound like excuses to me. We are in Florida. Hurricanes have been hitting the state for eons. Yeah. That'd be like saying, what did prepare for a tornado here in Kansas? Jesus, man. I mean, or an earthquake in California.
Yeah, but
we are on a peninsula that can constantly, every summer, we get bombarded with opportunities to get our asses kicked by hurricanes. So how can you not plan?
How many millions of dollars do you set aside and don't touch as part of your budget when everything else is razor thin in case you get hit with a hurricane?
Yeah, Jack, I don't know the answer there. That's what I'm saying. When politicians get elected and commissioners get elected, these are the things they're supposed to be doing, right? They're supposed to be figuring this out in the context of the budget in totality. And obviously something's not being done. I mean, look, here's the thing. $826 million doesn't sneak up on you. Like they go, $1 billion debt doesn't sneak up, doesn't go, hey, $1 billion debt. That accumulates.
Well, we're talking about it now. 4 years ago, they could have said, hey, we got a $400 million problem here, and it's only getting worse.
Exactly.
The 4 years before that, it's like, hey, there's a $100 million problem here, and we need help. Help.
And the other issue, too, is look at Marion County. It's, you got a lot of horse industry up there, but it's not a big industrial county. There's not a lot of...
Are these schools for horses?
No, stop. What's she saying there?
The tax base. to fill those coffers and help cover that $839 million thing. Someone did text us at 77031. Let's double down on the taxpayer subsidizing of wealthy families in private and parochial schools.
Yeah, there you go, right? Maybe that should do it. I don't know. All right, 407-916-1041. Your 6 o'clock keyword is credit, C-R-E-D-I-T. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Mark won yesterday. You can win today.
Yay.
Still got plenty of time to get over there. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. All right, let's get to this. So, like I was saying before, when you go into a grocery store, primarily Publix, I see this. I don't remember. I know that Winn-Dixie also has it.
Yes.
I don't know if Aldi has it. Do they have
Everyone has it, Jimmy.
Do they have an alternate section?
Come on.
Do they have that section in Aldi?
An
the international food section?
Yeah, do they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's where you get your soy
don't
sauce.
shop there.
I don't go to places where I have to pay for my cart.
Yeah.
So it just happens.
Guess what? I can afford to pay for my cart because everything else is so much more inexpensive.
You're right.
Less expensive.
You're right, playa. But the whole idea here is this. We have that international foods aisle in our stores, and I always love going to the Britain one because they eat such weird S. They do. The Brits eat some crazy stuff, right? And mostly it's like sauces and condiments, but there are some other cool stuff. But the flip side of that is really unique because they went to grocery stores across the world and went to the American food section. And this actually kind of tells a little story of how I think people view America.
Oh, I'm scared.
So in the UK, and by the way, let's start off with this first. Out of the, I got to go here and figure out how many countries they went to. I think they went to 20, 17, 18, 19, 20 countries. Finland, Japan, Kuwait, let's see, Denmark, Belgium, Norway, all, countries just like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the one item that shows up in about 70% of these shelves? By the way, this is a Yahoo story if you want to go check it out. About 70% of these shelves in all of these countries have this one item.
Texter sent this one in, and I think I kind of like it. Big in Hawaii, Spam.
It's not Spam.
I'm sticking with Pop-Tarts.
It's not Pop-Tarts.
Damn it.
Now Pop-Tarts do appear. There's no question. Pop-Tarts do appear in some of these places because Pop-Tart is a very, very American food. And I think it's identified by, being an American food.
Twinkies.
Not Twinkies. That's a good one, though. Now, they do have a lot of candy.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's is the answer. Let me tell you something. I don't know what happened, but whoever makes this Reese's Puffs cereal must be crack. It must change your life. It must make you rich because I'm telling you guys, when you go to these stores, it seems every single one of these countries includes not only Reese's Cups, but Reese's Puffs cereal.
Wow, never had it.
Gives you the sugars.
Lucky Charms is on there.
Oh, it should be.
Yeah, Lucky Charms. Let's see. When you go to
Lay's potato chips.
Cheerios, by the way, also
really
very prevalent. No potato chips.
What?
I think one of the countries likes kettle chips from America, but that's it. It's primarily candy and sauces. A1 sauce,
of course,
is pretty prevalent out there.
How about Heinz ketchup?
Heinz ketchup. Let me see right here. And I think that appears in. No, it doesn't. No, ketchup's on a big one.
No, what about mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise is on there, but it's really like Miracle Whip.
Oh,
it's not like mayo because mayo is kind of international, right?
Yeah, that and ketchup. You make that anyway.
So in France,
you just throw that tomato against the wall. Boom, ketchup.
When you look at France, there is one in here, by the way, that people nailed. And if you think about it, it really is the one. But in France, the number one item that gets the predominant shelf space is Hershey's syrup and Oreos.
Oh, now we're talking.
Hershey's chocolate. Hershey's chocolate syrup and Oreos in France. If you go to New Zealand, top of the line, Golden Graham, Cinnamon Crunch, and Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And Pop-Tarts.
Okay. All right.
What about some Kraft macaroni and cheese?
That's a good time right there.
Nailed it.
Really? Texter got it.
Kraft macaroni and cheese is another major one, but you guys haven't hit the one yet.
The one. Rice-A-Roni. That's San Francisco treat.
Not Rice-A-Roni.
Rice Krispies?
Oh, no.
Rice pilaf?
Oh, Frosted Flakes. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
You guys are out of it. Okay, you have to think of it like it's a condiment. I'll give that to you. I mean, that's a dead giveaway.
Well, it's not relish.
Ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing is the answer.
Hey!
Yeah, it's so funny.
The
Ranch
condiment,
dressing.
sort of, kind of.
Yeah. In Colombia.
Yeah.
Colombia.
There's no you.
What do you think it is in Colombia, Deb? I'll give you the first swat at this. Oh man, this is great. It's two things in a box. Both of them are in boxes. Goddamn. It's so crazy what people think that we love over here. It's so wild. I mean, I don't know many.
Don't tell me it's El Paso.
Oh, that'd be funny.
It would.
Instant potatoes and cake mix.
Oh, that's funny. The cake mix fine.
Instant potatoes.
I was gonna guess like or gratin potatoes.
Yeah,
you know,
instant potatoes and cake mix is the big thing from in Colombia.
I hate instant potatoes.
Also, oddly, it's a Nestle company product, but they have every iteration of Swiss Miss hot chocolate in Colombia.
That's because so people, including myself, right? You think in the afternoon in England you have a hot cup of tea. People would assume that because Colombia is such a big coffee producing country that's what it's hot chocolate.
Is it really?
It's hot. It's that special Spanish chocolate though.
We learned that in Mexico as well. That because it was National Chocolate Day and I almost wrote trivia about it, but I realized I'd already done it.
Yeah.
But the very first way that chocolate was consumed
is hot chocolate
from humans was as a drink. It wasn't even
it wasn't sweet either.
No, it wasn't. Right? It was bitter.
Yeah. So in Colombia, I could see why they'd have all the Swiss Miss because hot chocolate is a big drink there.
In the Netherlands, what do you think it is? What do you think it is in the Netherlands? By the way, let me give you an example. Or let me tell you something. There are like only 4 savory items in the Netherlands. Boy, these guys love sweets. Let's just say that. And you guys haven't mentioned one thing that I can't believe yet. But really, to be honest with you,
nerd gummy clusters.
It's not that. It's not that. That's it.
What?
Nerd gummy clusters, Cracker Jacks, runts. Isn't that a theater? Isn't that like a movie theater?
Oh yeah.
Milk duds, and every possible iteration of this candy.
Raisinets?
Nope. The entire shelf is just this candy.
Jelly beans?
Nope.
No.
They switch this up occasionally, just to make some fun. Legendary.
Hershey Kisses.
Close.
Hershey bars.
No.
Snickers.
Skittles.
M&Ms.
M&Ms.
And I mean 5 different versions of M&Ms for our friends over in the Netherlands. Let's go to Australia. By the way, another Hershey syrup one in there too.
Oh, really?
They love Hershey syrup and Reese's. This one is kind of weird. It's Snapple.
Snapple?
Yeah, like pink lemonade Snapple is a big deal in Australia. That's the big American product they love in Australia. How about Spain? What do you think they like in Spain? This is another weird one. And look, the shelf is full of it. And you would never in a million years, I don't understand. There's no rhyme or reason. It's something you eat primarily one time of year, and you almost always use this product to make another product.
The crunchy onions that go on top of the green.
That's a great guess, Deb. This is sweet.
Oh, it's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
You use this product to make another product that's very famous, and it's usually this time of year or in the fall when that happens.
Confectionery sugar.
No.
Pie crust, apple pie, berry pie.
Coconut shavings,
maybe
sprinkles.
Maybe you're standing around a fire.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows is the answer.
Oh.
Guys, let me tell you, again, an entire shelf of nothing but marshmallows, and believe it or not, like cake icing. It's weird. No cake. Well, there's cake mix there, but like tons of cake icing in Spain. God, I don't get it.
This is Australia?
Yeah, no, that was
Spain.
That was Spain. Yeah. This one is Denmark, and this is another shelf completely full of this iconic American food. It's the entire shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 flavors of this. 9 flavors.
And it's not Spam?
It's 2 things.
Coca-Cola.
It's this and one other thing. Jello and pancake mix.
Oh, man. Someone's been hanging out at the red light district.
But you know what's weird?
What?
And so Germany, it's kind of hard to see that one. The photograph is bad. But what's weird about this, like in Norway, it's Jello and Hershey syrup again. And then our candy is crushing globally, by the way. That's really primarily.
Yeah. Is that surprising to you?
Yeah, really.
Like primarily, that's the food that most other countries like from America. Yeah. It's what we make with sugar is what they like. Very few sodas.
Yeah. From a country that's 70% overweight.
Yeah. But very few sodas. You have to get to Belgium before you see one soda brand, and it's not Coke, Pepsi, or any of the big ones. What do you think?
RC.
Nope.
Dr. Pepper.
Nope, not a big one. That's a big one. This one's kind of big, but I think
A&W.
No. Flavored.
Cream soda?
It's a brand, and they specialize in flavored sodas.
Fanta.
Fanta's the answer.
Wow.
Belgium has shelf after shelf of Fanta from the U.S. Unbelievable.
What about Texter mentions, and it's one of my favorite, Fritos.
Yeah, the feet-smelling chips.
Let me tell you something, guys. Very few crunchy snacks in this. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I'm looking at the one right now in Japan. Like, in Japan, what do you think the big thing is? I'll give you an example, right? So we already said that and this is another one where Reese's Puffs kills it. But there's another cereal that they have every flavor from. And I'm telling you, I don't know one human that eats this cereal. But it's on shelves, no question.
Grape nuts.
Not grape nuts.
Shredded wheat.
Not shredded wheat. It's none of those.
Cornflakes.
No.
Oh, what's that puff rice thing that is
What's
always
it called?
It's always, it's the Sugar Smacks thing.
No. Rice cakes.
No, right. Kicks.
Kicks are for kids.
Kicks and tricks. Tricks are for kids, right?
Kids.
And
Kicks are for no one.
And then, guys, I'm telling you, another
Or kicks are for people from Japan.
another full shelf of Reese's Puffs. God almighty. Let me tell you something. I bet Reese's, when they made this cereal, never thought, you know what, this is going to sell everywhere.
I know.
But it is crushing globally. And let's see, we'll do one more here. I can't see that one all that well. Oh, in Kuwait. What do you think the number one thing is in Kuwait? By the way, Ron DeSantis is calling me right now.
Got a call from him this weekend.
The number one in Kuwait, it's been said already, and they have multiple iterations of this product, and they must love it.
Misogyny?
You eat it when you're poor.
Beans and rice.
No.
Ramen.
No, it's mac and cheese, dog.
Oh, mac and cheese.
Yeah, mac and cheese. When you're broke, mac and cheese always comes through.
Although misogyny is definitely on every one of the shelves.
Yeah. Also, a giant shelf of anti-gay. Right there as well. Anyway, I thought you guys would find that interesting. These are, if you want to check out that entire list and read about it, yahoo.com has it up there. It's the non-Americans sharing country, their foods there. And I think it's actually painfully interesting. I only went through about like maybe 5 or 6 of them, but there's tons of them out there, and it's actually very interesting. When I saw that Reese's, I'm like, what is it with Reese's Puffs?
I know.
But it's just basically like candy and milk, right?
Yep. Sweet.
Yeah. Sweet, empty carbs, no protein, no fiber.
I can't do those anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally nothing nutritional about it at all, right?
Yeah.
About what?
I think they fortify it with vitamins and stuff like that so they can print that on the box. Like the cereals, breakfast cereals.
Yeah.
Is there one that's good for you? Is there one breakfast cereal that you can eat it and think for sure?
Raisin Bran.
I'm doing okay here. Still loaded with sugar, I think.
Shredded wheat.
Special K.
Yeah, I would think that you have to get into the really bland cornflakes, right? Just add some fruit to it.
Ugh.
That's what we did as kids. Bananas or peaches was what we added.
Bananas.
Yeah, bananas and peaches to our cereal. Because they were in, we could get the peaches in season. Strawberries if we had them.
Blueberries?
Yeah, some blueberries too. Again,
that's a brain food. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
It's a good way to ingest them. Yeah, because it's easy.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, 407
covering it with the taste of the cardboard chip.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Let's take a little break. We'll get out of here next, and we'll do. You heard it here first.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey everybody, Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Snell Bergen here. A blend of clouds and some sunshine over the next several days with temperatures in the middle 80s. It'll be windy all week with an east wind 15 to 25 miles an hour. A couple of rain showers are possible coming in within that easterly flow. Looking in the tropics, we are still monitoring the potential for a tropical system named Patty in the Caribbean, which I do think could form as soon as this weekend. We will watch it heading into next week if it decides to come towards Florida.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. It's October, Halloween is here, but the real goblins, the real boogers, the spider webs, and the witch's brews can be inside your body without you even knowing. That's why it's so important for you to get over to Life Imaging FLA and take advantage of their free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. Guys, there's no question that early detection saves lives, and being proactive instead of reactive is a much better plan. Take a few minutes and get that peace of mind through prevention. Life Imaging FLA can do that. If not for yourself, do it for your loved ones. And remember, this entire process only takes a few minutes. No dyes, no injections, and you don't even have to take your clothes off. And it's easy to make your appointment. Just pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. They'll connect you in seconds. Guys, make that appointment today. Make this the year you finally take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Attention! Want to lose up to 15 pounds by this time next month? Now you can with semaglutide from Red Mountain Weight Loss. Get the same ingredients you'd find in the expensive brand name drugs for half the price at Red Mountain Weight Loss. For over 30 years, Red Mountain Weight Loss has been the leader in medical weight loss, providing quality medications and expert medical support. Our medications are all tested by an accredited and FDA-inspected lab, so you can trust the source. And our clinical team can help you with the tools to speed your weight loss. Why pay more when you can pay less for the same results? Get injectable semaglutide, the exact same ingredient found in the expensive brand names you've seen Oprah talk about, for a fraction of the cost. Lose up to 15 pounds by this time next month and look great in time for the holidays. Ask about our interest-free financing for payments that'll fit your budget. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Quality medications, expert support, faster results. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
New South Window lives southern weather. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
Save 35% off. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio.
Get your lawn ready for fall with help from Tools Ace Hardware and Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Stop by one of Tools' 11 Steel locations with service and repair centers for a tune-up on your equipment. Or take advantage of fall savings on blowers, trimmers, and more. Right now, save $50 on the gas-powered MS250 chainsaw or the battery-powered BGA 57 handheld blower. At Tools, we service what we sell, which means you can bring in your Steel Outdoor Power equipment to one of our 11 locations for any repairs or warranty issues. Tools is here to help with 13 locations in Central Florida. Visit toolsacehardware.com to find a location near you. Tools Ace Hardware, your local helpful place.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight or is business at an all-time high? Well, maybe it's time for you to sell, retire, and just relax with a bunch of money in the bank. Hi, I'm Andy Cagnetta, and at Transworld Business Advisors, we've been selling businesses for 40 years. And with offices located throughout the world, we have thousands of buyers immigrating to the United States ready to buy your business. Don't wait until the last minute or try to do it yourself. That's a recipe for disaster. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value and how Transworld can maximize your eventual selling price. That's the winning formula. It has never been a better time to sell your business than right now. Call Transworld at 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com. That's 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com.
Marijuana is scientifically proven to be safer than alcohol, but casual marijuana users are treated like dangerous criminals. It's time for a change, and law enforcement officers across Florida agree. Here's Bradford County Sheriff Gordon Smith with more.
Using marijuana doesn't make you a bad person, and it's time we stop ruining lives over it. I'm a Republican sheriff, and I'm voting yes on Amendment 3 for safe, tested, regulated marijuana for adults. Amendment 3 will get marijuana laced with Chinese fentanyl off our streets and save countless Florida lives. With more funding for law enforcement to crack down on the real criminal, it's time. Vote yes on Amendment 3.
Amendment 3, legal marijuana for adults, safe, regulated, lab tested, and from a store, not the street. Get the facts at yeson3.com.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Save Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, suite number 3321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Look ahead with the team at TK Law to plan your family's future. Visit onefirmforlife.com.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. At work, just pretend you're on a Zoom call with us. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Hey guys, I just want to leave a message about that half-penny sales tax here in Orange County. It is crucial that we vote for that half-penny sales tax. We build schools in OCPS like nobody else in the country. We are the 7th largest school district, up from 8th. Last year, we have more than 110 students. In our county, we build schools more than anybody. We need those schools. We need that money, that half-penny sales tax, to build and renovate those schools. Please vote yes on the half-penny sales tax.
Hey, JCS crew, listen to this whole issue with the schools. Even if you don't like weed, vote yes on 3. That's a lot of tax money the state can bring in. I think Colorado's got to be close to $3 billion if they haven't gone over $3 billion in tax money since recreational marijuana was passed over there. Just my thoughts.
Hey, everybody. Just catching up on the show, and you guys were talking about the restaurants with the happy hour. Well, we used to go back, I guess it was in my early 20s, and we'd go to Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And you go into their bar area, and as long as you were buying their drinks, you can have full access, all you can eat, to wings and nachos. It was the best happy hour that I've ever been to, and man, I don't remember a lot of the times coming out, but I do know I was there a lot. Well, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, we all know that Lucky Charms are from Ireland because they're magically delicious and they have a leprechaun on the box. It's not American. Oh, dee.
Hey, somebody go cue the Bronx fat lady.
Huh?
Let's go, man. At least win one, right? That'll start the next one. Come on, Yankees. Let's get it together.
Let's get it. Come on, Yankees. All right, 407-916-1041. Yeah, man, the Chi-Chi's thing was a pretty big deal. You know what? Why the Chi-Chi's here in Orlando used to be out by the Herndon Airport, right over there on Highway 50. And the reason I know that is because I used to take my ex-wife, God rest her soul, up there for dates. And because it was cheap, we could go in there and eat all the chips and like salsa and stuff and kind of get full on that and then share a meal or whatever. But I remember their jukebox is the only jukebox in town that had the Cult on it.
Oh, wow.
And I was a giant fan of the Cult. So I would go up there and play like She Sells Sanctuary like 4 or 5 times in a row while we ate, driving people bat-ass crazy. But I was okay with that. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm curious as to where this comes from in your life, because every time you mention someone who passed, you always say, God rest their soul.
Yeah.
I mean, it's attached. Every time, no matter who it is, you say it. Is that your grandmother? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't know.
You weren't raised to say that, Jack?
Yeah. Well, he does it sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but not, it's for Jimmy, it's like attached. If he talk anyone who's passed, it's the next thing coming.
I will tell you the truth. The truth is respect for their life.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. So when I say God rest their soul, usually those people had some kind of impact on my life, and I just give them the due respect they deserve in death because of what they did for me, for a lot of people, but, the impact they had on my life. That's kind of why I do it. I never really paid attention to it. I just feel it respectful.
I wasn't sure if that was something that, was like in your grandmother always did it, or your aunt or someone, and or your mom, you just picked up on it.
I just feel like it's necessary. I don't know. I just feel like it's necessary. I don't know. You should be very happy, by the way, Jack. Well, you should have been very happy.
What? We're down 0-3. What are you talking about?
No. Did you guys hear that the state put out the school district rankings for the entire state of Florida?
I did.
And did you see what came in number 1?
I did not, but I have a feeling I know which one it is.
Seminole County Public Schools.
There you go.
Hey.
We're named the best public school district in the entire state of Florida.
That's
all
out of
67.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible, man.
Yay, Seminole.
I was talking this morning to somebody about that, and I was like, yeah, when you think about it, it's weird because, they have Lyman, they have Lake Mary, they have Lake Brantley, they have Lake Howell, Winter Springs High, Sanford. Is it Sanford High?
Mm-hmm.
Sanford High, and a number of others. But man, when you start thinking about some of the schools and what they do, a lot of people don't realize that Lyman is one of the top engineering magnet schools in the country. Like, I think they're top 15 if you look in there, or they were for years. They were up there, and it is one of the best magnet schools for engineering.
I'm you know what I'm glad about that they held on to it, because it was 99 I moved into Seminole County because of the school district.
Yeah.
It went to schools, and that's when my daughters went through the entire thing, and I mean 25 years later they're still
That's right.
at the top.
All my kids went to Seminole County schools.
Yeah.
Every one of them went to a multitude of them, actually, from the elementary to middle all the way up into high school. So we had great respect for Seminole County schools.
You know why? Because we passed that half penny tax.
That's right. Very good. All right. All right, Deb, let's do You Heard It Here first.
Woo-hoo!
It's time for You Heard It Here First on The Jim Colbert Show.
I thought this was a pretty cool story that Western North Carolina is getting international support.
Nice.
As communities continue to recover from Helene, officials from Taiwan visited the state yesterday to donate $300,000 for relief efforts. Governor Roy Cooper says residents are determined to rebuild from the horrific storm, and the state is grateful for the help pouring in from around the world. I guess this is why the Tar Heel State has the second largest Taiwanese community in the southeastern United States. The recent donation will go to the North Carolina Disaster Relief Fund, which will benefit nonprofits who are dedicated to helping Helene victims.
I mean, damn, that's cool.
All right, closer to home, Attorney General Ashley Moody says an investigation found Russell Moncrief used his position as a bondsman to target women inmates in the Orange County Jail and others on prostitution or drug charges. Moncrief reportedly offered them bond in exchange for sex and threatened to revoke that bail if they didn't go along. Statewide prosecutors say this is actually tied to a previous case involving a defense attorney.
I was just, if you see that smile on my face,
Yes,
I'm like, this happened before, and I think this is tied into that same dude.
It sure is, and they urge any additional victims to contact the Metropolitan Bureau of Investigation. Moncrief, who also runs bail bonds offices in Pinellas, Osceola, and Brevard counties, is being held without bond. And then finally, as we prepare to fall back this weekend, 2 Florida senators continue to push to make daylight saving time permanent with the Sunshine Protection Act. Senators Rick Scott and Marco Rubio say, quote, Floridians are sick of changing their clocks because we all want more sunshine. It's time for Congress to act, pass the Sunshine Protection Act, and lock the clock, end quote. Senator Scott said when he was governor of Florida, he signed a bill into law to lock the clock on the state level. Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter. He says now it's time for Washington to pass this good bill. And you heard it here first on The Jim Colbert Show.
Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that so much. Who do we have to thank today?
Well, first we want to congratulate Robert, the winner of the $25 gift card to Frogger's Grill and Bar.
Hey.
Also want to thank Scott Brown with Edgewater Family Wealth. If you missed his It's Only Money segment, Jack always puts that up under the goods at JimColbertLive.com. And then last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat.
Very nice. Thank you. Jack, we have a question on
Did
that?
I miss something?
No, you didn't. You're
Okay,
good.
just checking.
Yeah, we do. And the question is, do you have a 401k or a pension?
Oh, wow. Goodness. Well, this is a number I want to be high. I'll go straight down the middle. Half of them do.
62% say
All right.
Very nice. That's a good number, man. That's awesome to hear.
say Yes.
Oh, good. Don't do that to me, you son of a bitch. All right, coming up tomorrow, we'll have Scott Maxwell, who's in for Animal House.
We have Daisy Fiore from the Audubon Center for Birds of Prey. It is the day before Halloween. So.
Yeah. And she's, by the way, she is awesome, so good on the air, and she runs a cryptid podcast where they talk about like Bigfoots and Loch Ness monsters and whatnot.
Yep,
but it's sponsored by cryptocurrency.
Thanks, shut up, Dan.
No.
All right. Plus, we'll have 4 more opportunities for you to win that $1,000, and of course, more cool stuff in trivia as well. Let's get out of here. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Himself a
Lazy
buzzer.
bastard.
I gave myself
Let's
a buzzer.
Come on, go. What are you doing? Time to go home. All right, on behalf of Deb and Jack, I am Jim. We follow News Junkie. They follow the monsters in the morning after us. It's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs.
Keep feeling okay.
We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic... Are the Yankees playing tonight?
They are.
8:08.
A fantastic Tuesday evening. We'll see you
First of 4 straight wins. Let's go.
Go Yankees.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a good evening.
Bye.